I didn't take you off popular. Dude, you're not that dude, calm down. You dropped yourself, your network is acting. Bro, for somebody that's so religious, the narcissism is incredible, huh? You dropped off yourself, bro. God, Desi, you took me off. My hands are here. You fell off. You said I took you off. Dude, calm down. Go on, Egodi. Jesus. I mean, that's what we Christians, man. Christians are narcissism and 5 and 6. Go on.
You said, I'm this day, I think
You took me off.
I'm emotional.
Touched my heart.
My God. I cured their madness recently. I have a cousin. The first time I tried talking to her about going back to the roots, she said I should not involve her family. That she and her family will serve the living God. I said, okay, fine. I respected that fact. I said, I'm never going to talk to you about it again. After speaking to her, she started sending me NSPD every morning. Every day she will send me NSPD. I didn't know how to warn her because she's older. No. And one day I said I will solve this problem once and for all. No. I'm an Igbo woman. And we have a big masquerade they call Ajofia. I just went and brought the video and sent to her. Remember, you've been sending LSSPD messages to me, and I sent one, and she blocked me, and she's angry with me till today. So back to my point. I'm still praying in my heart that we will wake up. We really need to wake up. Any day we wake up, we will not just reclaim our land. We will reclaim ourselves, reclaim our resources. We will start, because religion has eluded us and made us, we are not achieving anything. Church business is the highest, or as in profitable business in Nigeria now. We're supposed to have industries, profitable companies here that will employ the youth. Somebody that is unemployed, that doesn't have a company that can employ him or her, is praying in church, in a church ground, praying for a job. Which job will employ you? Which company will employ you when the massive land and the economy, the resources that are supposed to use to build a company, your pastor have colonized it. The tax you are supposed to be paying to government, you are paying it as a tithe to your church. So how are we going to?
Can we speak some facts?
Let's our country.
Egodi.
It's fine. Yeah.
Egodi, just land your plane there so that other people can speak as well. Okay?
I'm done. I've gotten what I want. What I wanted to say off my chest, and I believe some people understand.
And you're right, Egodi. Yeah, you're right. So thank you for that, and keep practicing your religion. That's yours. Nobody can take that from you. It's yours. I love that. Exactly. It's not witchcraft. It's not black magic. I beg me to sit down one place. It's black magic and voodoo nonsense. Yet they are doing freemancy when you're eating the body of Christ and drinking the blood of Christ. What is that? Is that not ritual? But when we do our own, it's bad.
I don't understand. When I left Christianity in 2022, and I started going deep into African spirituality and things that they do from us. They told us that what are they calling it? Necromancing is evil. They told us our ancestors are evil, but they want us to be worshiping their ancestors. You can imagine all the spiritual gifts. I heard someone on this platform talking about the spiritual gifts that we had that they labeled evil. But these are things that, if not that they labeled it evil and we are using it, you see all these things that they produce, aeroplane, phones, and all, we will have the idea. The spirits will be talking to us, we will be producing all these things. But they cut off us. They cut us off from reality, from nature, that there are some messages we cannot receive. There are some ideas. There are some innovations that we cannot delve into because we are not rooted. They cut us off with religion.
Can I say something?
I have a lot to say, but it's fine.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Umbra.
And before you go, Umbra, for the people that haven't spoken, please stop waiting for me to unmute you. Just unmute yourself and speak like Umbra is doing. Please. I'm enjoying the conversation. It's amazing. So please just do what like Umbra is doing. Unmute and speak. Unmute and speak.
I'll definitely speak.
Respectfully.
Umbra, go on.
Oh no. Gentleman is talking.
Yes, I said
No. You started. First confessor, you started, Umbra. You speak. Okay. If he wants to, you just unmute and speak as well.
All right. So I'm gonna. When we look at our cultures now, and we look at as Mba also reiterated before, do you realize that there are certain Igbo communities that there's no stealing? If you steal and you're caught, you'll be ostracized.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
I went for my friend's traditional wedding, and I was like, I had the Nigerian mentality. So where is safe to eat? He said, here? He said, no. You can eat anywhere. There's nobody does anything here. If not, we'll find out and you'll be ostracized. Now, now here's the thing. I'm just using this as an anecdote because back in the day, these days, when you say, oh, and I'm not trying to normalize anything, but in our ancient traditions, when you say, oh, let us go see what we call the shaman, or now what we call, or the what do we call them in the East? The native priests, they were never outside the community, they were always inside, helping the people make decisions. Our justice system and all our systems were all rooted in divinity, right? Post-colonialism, you now started to find them outside the communities. Oh, you have to go inside one bush somewhere. That was not always the case. It was because they were demonized so much. Now, I'll tell you a story. My great-grandaunt, they said she used to talk to plants, and plants used to talk to her.
Very rare gift.
So she used to heal the community just by walking in a garden. If somebody had an issue, she just goes and listens to plants. What happened to her? They ostracized her from the community. That was the systematic thing that went on in various communities. As the colonialists came in, they ostracized and demonized our native religion, which is why, listen, democracy as we practice it is not even native to us. We are so different that we actually had our own democratic systems woven around our. The quickest way to weaken us, some noise there. The quickest way to weaken us was to weaken the divinity. If you can weaken the divinity, you weaken the whole system, and then you can destroy the family unit. We did not even practice patriarchy back then. We actually mostly had matriarchs. If you look at the old Igbo culture, old Igbo culture is actually matriarchal.
Even in Akwa Ibom, very matriarchal.
It's
very matriarchal.
So we had very, very clever systems that were taught out over hundreds of years that worked for us perfectly. Have you read the colonialist documentations of what they saw in Benin and the East? Mba said something about Lord Lugard's memoirs. I urge everybody to go and search for Lord Lugard's memoirs. He, first of all, said, you see these people, they are too far off. It is impossible to break them. In fact, violence is not even enough. We will have to covertly subterfuge their local divinity, make sure that it is bad. That is the only way. What is the part in history that they don't tell us? The part of history they don't tell us is that so many Igbos, after they were captured, drowned themselves at sea rather than be slaved in a foreign land. After they committed mutiny on the boats and they saw that they lost, they rather drowned themselves. And it wasn't one, it wasn't two. But the thing is, if they told people that, then they won't have good slaves because every slave will do the same thing. History is always written by the victors, and this is what we do not understand. And it is very, very, I don't know how we see, Africans are the most educated illiterates in this universe. You will go to school, abandon all the critical thinking that you've been taught, and then surrender your whole life.
That's powerful. What Jesus said is very powerful.
Slave. It is one of the most pathetic things. And until we start to trace where we went wrong back, and it's not too far. We're not too far gone.
Yeah, that's
We're
very
not too far
true.
gone. Do you know that? Do you know that the Bible said that Queen Sheba went to Solomon, and that is not true?
Because of what? Because you said so or what?
No, ancient texts said that Solomon went to Ethiopia. He had heard of Sheba. The true when you read the book of Enoch, that's when you start to see the true story of Solomon. The true story of Solomon is very, because if they told the true story of Solomon, it would put the African in the kind of light that did not fit the European narrative.
Narratives. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Umbra.
I quickly share something with you. I want to
No,
share.
Poise, let Poise go, please. He hasn't said anything. Poise away.
Yeah, thank you for actually it all boils down to actually just being logical, like you said. Imagine we are so easy to think that what we are actually doing is wrong. Do you really think, based on the little knowledge we've acquired so far, do you really think it's in the white best interest to actually teach us? The only thing that has been translated is the Bible. We have not seen other books being translated to our local community so we can at least learn. No, but if you go as looking at the Bible, you will notice like it is the only book that is they are forcing to translate it to our own languages so we can actually consume it. So I sometimes ask myself, like, do you really feel that people are so, like, they have our best interest at heart, where they will go through the extra miles, like really wanting to force all these, so because they just love us? Imagine people that have actually eluded a lot of things from Africa coming back now to share or tell you like this. No, it's all about power. It's all about control. And that's what we need to understand. We need to unlearn a lot of things. Take time to actually go to the other materials that are not easily seen out there. So really, really, it's important. It's important, like, we really start on learning a lot of things, not how it makes you feel, because a lot of us go to our feelings. Oh no, because I've practiced this for so long, it's difficult for me to just start. No, we are so afraid to even ask the right questions, because this religion is telling you that, oh, you should just believe. Really?
Just believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. You're not supposed to question anything. Just believe. It's crazy. It's crazy, honestly. And we really have to unlearn a lot of things and be willing to actually use our logic to actually define some certain things and look into our own culture, embracing it. I always tell people, what I always say to people is, once you lose your identity, you are lost. Because for me, that's the core of everything. That's the core. You can't just go and take, you're just easily swayed by people's culture. And I know of where I grew up. I know of people who would go behind the house and just use leaves, and they will treat all sorts of sickness. But now those are no more common. It's hardly you see those things anymore. We buy drugs. I studied biology for some time. Like, the drugs we buy is not even healthy for us even to take. There's no drug without side effect. There's no drug without side effect. But I definitely know those medicines where those traditional stuff that we drank, they could solve a lot of things. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's just about control. And the earlier we as Africans stand to understand that no one will do it for us, we have to do it for ourselves, we will not be respected in the world at large. Will not be. Yeah.
No, Poise, a fantastic point. And you say something that I like. And as soon as you lose your identity, you are conquered. Period.
That's all.
If you look at countries that are doing well for themselves, what do they always have? They have a solid, customized and personalized identity that Africans don't have. The Asians, the Chinese, they have their own thing. The Indians have their own thing. The Japanese have their own thing. The Thai have their own thing. The Malaysians have their own thing. You understand? Even the Arabs have their own thing, because it's, Islam originated from there. But we are the ones, imagine as a black African, you're now saying, oh, I'm this, I'm that. And each of these things you're practicing is not for you. But I understand why some people are so fanatical and extremist in their way of defending it. Because again, listen, a lot of Africans, a lot of black Africans, we tie our identity to our religion. So when you see somebody putting some perspectives to you, it takes a certain level of critical thinking and awareness to say, oh shit, you're right. But instead, most of us are going to fight back. Or we rewrite our own history to make ourselves feel better, which a lot of Africans do, because a lot of Africans are creating one sort of narrative so that they can feel better about themselves. But the truth of the matter is, you have your own religion and you were conquered. And as long as you are taking somebody else's processes and religion, you will at the very best you're going to be a backbencher in that religion, which a lot of black Africans are. Go on, Mba, go
I
on.
don't believe that.
I just
Yeah,
want
you
to
don't have to believe it. It's just logical.
I just want to add
To you, it's logical, but to me, it's illogical.
It is what it is.
I just want to add to what Lux and Poise said. You know, like this worship of ancestors. Lux talked about worshiping ancestors. I'm a Christian, and I'm a Catholic. And you have this and those are people who are dead. Those are people who were here and they are no. So, and then they don't want us to do the same worship that we give to these people. They don't want us to give it to our parents. For example, my dad and my mom, they are no more. And I feel like the same way I'm worshiping this white ancestors, I should also worship my parents. But when you bring that up, they would say, oh, that's demonic. There is no life after death. They'll say, I'm going to quote an example. That's something that actually happened to me. That was in 2008. I had an accident. I was under this car. This car dragged me for I don't know if I actually died or whatever happened. I don't know to date. But what I can really, really remember is that I saw my aunt. During that time that I had that accident, my aunt had just passed on like 2 months ago. I saw her in the midst of so many people. She was calling my name and screaming and saying, what are you doing here? Why did you come here? You have to go back. Then she told me that I should wait. She has to get permission from someone so I can leave this place because I'm not supposed to be here now. Now, let me just cut the long story short. When I was working in one school, and I shared this story with a colleague, and that colleague told me that last year her daughter traveled from our town, which is Bamenda, to Douala. She had an accident. Everybody in that car died except 3 people, and her daughter was among. And when her daughter recovered, she kept saying, I saw Uncle Patrick. Uncle Patrick pulled me out of the car. He said I should sit over there. He's going to get 2 other people. And, like I was till today when I think of that, and I'm like, and her daughter's name is Chelsea. I called her. I tried to ask her questions, just interview her to understand. She said, yeah, that night Uncle Patrick pulled her out of the car. Why am I saying this? I'm just saying this to say that the same way we are worshiping these people's ancestors, Saint Peter, Saint Andrew, Saint Joseph, Saint this, Saint that, I think we should also look at our close family members as our own saints. What do you all think? That's just my own. I don't know. It may sound crazy, but
Let
I
me say
just
something, please.
No, wait. Usman, brother, are you there?
it may sound crazy, but I just feel like our own family
But
members.
when this man
Go
finishes,
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
want to
I'm
say
gonna talk later.
something. When
Okay.
sorry, Usman, when you are done, I will say something about what Maria Claire said. Please let me meet my mind.
No, you can. Mba, are you done? Are you done? Have you landed?
I'm done. Thank you.
All right.
So
You can go.
were you talking to me?
Egodi was speaking prior. After Egodi, you can go. And just guys, again, don't wait for me. Just unmute and speak. That's why I was checking on Usman, because if Usman is not there, so I could bring somebody else up that wants to speak. But it's okay. But go on, Egodi.
I don't know how to pronounce your name. Okay, based on what you said now, I had an uncle that was so fond of me when he was alive. He died in 2011. He was the only person among my uncles I like. I still love him. So immediately I transitioned back to my roots. I have an altar. There are people, my dad is a good storyteller. He told me many things about the people before me, my grandmother, and all those people. So immediately I transitioned on my altar. I hunted for their pictures. If you see how I got pictures, if people that died very long time ago, but since I have been told their history, get their pictures, get their name, I pasted it around my altar. That's my favorite uncle. I wrote his name in a very bold letter, and his picture is also here in my altar. That's a way of reverencing these ancestors. Each time I pour my libation, I call out his name. And believe me, most times, you can see yourself in the dream or in fact, difficult situations. If you think they are not hearing you, their spirits are there. They are seeing that you are reverencing them. They will always come to your rescue or call, give you direction. It's because we are given limited time to talk. I would have buttressed this point, but I believe you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do. But I want to say something.
Okay, go.
I don't know who St. Andrew is. I'm a Catholic, but these are people I don't know. But I know my auntie. I grew up with her. You know, I know my father. I know my mom. So it's tricky. That's all I can say.
Okay, I want to say something, and Umbra, I know you're going to go next, but Popular, I've been seeing a lot of your comments, man, and I want to say this as somebody that claims to be a Christian, man. I just think you just said something in the comment section. Who says that if you go altar to me, you might die? What kind of comment is
because
that?
it's true. Because suffer not a wish to live. So if you want to go to warfare with me and you're a witch, you might not make it out alive. That's just biblical.
Wait, guys, please. No, wait. No,
You see, you're not
everybody
dealing
mute.
with an ABC Christian here. I'm deep into spiritual warfare.
Everybody mute.
I've seen people go
Everybody mute.
trying to fight
Everybody
me.
mute.
So let's not.
Everybody
That's
mute.
what I meant. You know.
Mba mute. Jokes aside, the fact that you would write such a thing, I think that just speaks to why a lot of people left Christianity. Because
they're not ready for the solid food of Christianity. They think Christianity is all love and roses. They haven't entered the realm of becoming a warrior for Christ. It's a different thing. It's not just, hey, I'm a Christian, I accept Jesus, I drink the Bible. This is warfare.
Can I speak? Because you just said nobody was talking about warfare, and you came up with warfare, and this I take offense to that comment, because when you talk like that and comment something, that's how weak men speak. If I'm being honest with you, weak men create fights.
Perspective, man, and that's. I'm not even gonna argue with you.
You don't have to argue. You don't have to argue. You don't have to argue with me. I'm just commenting on what I see. Because nobody was talking about warfare. She has every single right to practice whatever she wants to practice. In fact, I align more with Egodi because it is more aligned to who I am. And if you think that because she's practicing something that is very African, and you think because you disagree with it because you've accepted somebody else's standards,
practicing
and you now want to now say
anything against me, she might not. It's just it is what it is. I mean,
she's not trying.
If you would have put my picture on her altar, that would be a mistake.
Again, this is the narcissism. This is the narcissism I'm speaking about. Nobody was talking about you, yet you centered yourself. She wasn't even talking about you. So why are you now centering yourself?
The reason why was because I was trying to exemplify the superiority of Christianity to all of the religions.
So my point. No. Egodi, I can speak.
I'm respecting you and everybody.
Egodi, wait.
Popular, I feel like say you don't know me. Don't come close. You see that fight you are pulling? I'm a woman.
Let me tell you.
Don't bring it up. I'm just respecting everybody on this platform, and I won't tell you more than this. Don't come shoulder to shoulder with me. You get me?
And I'm telling you the same
No,
thing.
I'm not a nuisance. I'm not ignorant
And I'm
of who
telling
I
you the
am.
same thing.
I'm
And
depth.
I'm telling
As
you
in,
the
I
same
have
thing.
depth.
And
Don't
I'm
try
telling
to.
you the same thing.
Thank
And
you.
I'm telling you the same thing.
There's
And
no
I'm
really
telling you
no
the same
point
thing.
because she was making
Can
a
I?
point. She was
Can
making a
I?
point, popular. She didn't address that to you.
She might even
So
still put my picture on the altar just
it
because I
was
made that statement. That's
uncalled
how
for.
dirty these witches are.
It was uncalled for. She is practicing what she is practicing. It doesn't
I am
have
a witch.
anything to
Popular. I am a witch. Don't come close to me.
Don't hear okay. And we say suffer I'm not to live.
Say it
So
with my
you
chest. I am a
me,
witch. Don't come
and every
close
knee
to me.
must bow.
You
Hello.
hear me?
Please,
Please,
can I
stay
speak?
in
This
your lane.
Usman speaking. Please, we're all matured. Please. We all have different opinions,
I mean,
right?
clearly not matured, Usman. I mean,
Please,
some people
please,
are. I mean,
everybody,
Popular
please,
is
we're all
acting
matured, right?
kiddish.
All of us here are different, right? There are somebody that is a Christian. I'm a Muslim, and a lot of people here, they don't practice any religion. So please, let's just respect ourselves, respect our differences. We shouldn't. If somebody is against in your own opinion, that doesn't mean that he's your enemy. We just live. We all have different opinion. Please, let's just respect that. I'm so sorry, and let's just forget about this, please.
Yes, but you can't go altar for altar with me. Let's bet money on that. I don't care any religion you are.
I'm
You
gonna
can't go
drop.
altar for altar with me. You
Can we be
can't.
civil?
Points I
Can we
made
be
there, I was
civil?
never referring to him. Why
Can we
will
be
he be
civil?
calling me a witch? I am a witch with my full chest, but stay in
That's
your lane.
okay. That's
She's
okay.
confessing. They've confessed. At least you're confessing. Yes.
If
Yes.
he calls you a witch, that's okay. That's okay. No need to pick
There's
nothing wrong with being witches. Egodi.
I'm not picking offense. That's why I
Something
said
wrong with
I'm
being
a
a
witch
witch.
with
There's
my
something
full
wrong
chest.
with it.
Can we be adults? Can we be adults? Right, please. Okay.
Can he listen in his
I'm gonna address Egodi first because all right. Egodi, no need to pick offense. It's okay. I mean, the thing is, she's not offended. She's not offended. She embraces being a witch, and there's nothing wrong with it. To me, the measure of a man, right, is his ability to not want to pick a fight for his own God or for his proclaimed God. That is the measure of a man, right?
It's your form of how you perceive masculinity. That
Excuse
doesn't
me,
have
I will let
anything
you
to
speak.
do
I
with
will let
me.
you
You
speak.
don't define my masculinity, so I don't care what you have to say.
I will
That's
let
your
you
own
speak.
opinion, your own diasporic, brainwashed opinion. I don't really care.
I will let you
I know what a man is because I'm one. So you cannot
Okay.
tell me anything.
All right. Okay. All right. Fair enough then. Fair enough. Right. So there's no reason to get too rattled, right? You can call, like, there's no need for name calling, right? But here's the thing, yeah. I do not respect a person who needs to pick up a sword for their God. I don't. And that goes across the board. I don't care whether you're Hindu, you're Christian, I don't care, right? And the measure of a spiritually mature person. So the thing is, a lot of people profess Christianity or the Christ-like, and you're doing the most un-Christ-like thing. Now, what would Christ have done in your position? Because the thing is, the measure of Christ-likeness is living by example. That is the true measure. It is not by the Bible says, by their fruits we shall know them, not by their speak. So far, you don't bear sweet fruit. So far, you're not bearing sweet fruit. So, in my opinion, and from my own observation, and I might be wrong. Maybe you're just having a bad day. But you have exhibited
You are
nothing.
wrong. You are, but
You
keep
have
going.
exhibited nothing that is close to Christ-likeness in this whole engagement. So, if that is something that maybe you need to like work out with
What
yourself,
I'm
that's fine.
doing that is
But there's
Christ-like
no,
is I'm
there's no,
speaking the
there's no
truth. I've told
need,
no lies here. The spirit
there
of
is no
truth
need
is the
to
Holy
be
Spirit.
calling
I've told
names.
0 lies here.
You have displayed gross immaturity, the lack of emotional
And that's your
control.
opinion. That's your way of trying to rubbish
Yeah,
my
so
statements by trying to target my
no,
masculinity and trying to call me
we actually
childish.
let you,
That's not that
you.
Jezebelic stuff doesn't work with me. Come on, man. I'm a high level
You
warrior
are
in
not,
Christ.
you are not high level.
I
You
don't
are
do all
not
that
high level.
basic stuff, man.
You are not high level, brother.
You're
You are
not
not.
man enough. Nah, that doesn't
Right?
work with
You
me.
are not. You are not. So
Yeah.
let's not
Okay. Keep it. I'm keeping
you know
it.
you,
Okay.
It's like you're
You know, you know
puffing
what,
you're
you
puffing
know
your
what I
chest
noticed.
online.
The easiest thing to do to discredit a man, targeting
You
his
know what I
masculinity.
noticed.
And
You
what
know
is
what I
that? That's a
noticed.
Jezebelic
You
trait.
know, guys, order. You know what I noticed? I noticed that, and this is something that I've seen on my time on TikTok. I've been on TikTok for 2 years, but I've noticed, Umbra, that the men that always talk about high value they are, how high character they are, how high they are.
It's always
They're
like
always they're always the guys that they get easily emotional, easily triggered, and
it's
yet
always
these
like
are the same guys. These are the same guys that will tell you how women are emotional.
You can't debate me. You
Yet
can't debate me. So
they get very angry, and I
all that stuff
mean,
trying to discredit me.
I'm
You're
trying
the
to
host. You
understand
can
it
do that, but
myself.
you can't
there,
discredit me. Maybe it's because
there's
I
a
was born and raised
reason.
in America. I know a lot of y'all born
There
in
is a
Nigeria.
reason.
You
There's a
understand?
reason why many incels
The
are
important
actually
thing, you know,
raised
this one.
religiously.
I'm
Many
so sorry. Can I say
many
something?
incel men are raised
My mental
religious.
frequency, you can't simply
Just
because of the
that.
education system between
Oh no,
Can
no.
I
Africans
say
If
something?
if
So
we're
you
gonna
to
if we're
years.
gonna go
You're
if we're
unable
gonna
to.
go
you
What you
think you
do
think
is
because
you try to
you
downplay
born
my
in
intellect
America or you schooled in
by calling
America,
me
that makes
emotional
you
and
intelligent?
trying to call me
He's
emasculate, but you can't debate me intellectually.
oh so now
brother.
Kingsley, can I
guys
talk? Can I
guys
talk?
wait guys wait everybody
Okay.
order. So now, Popular, you just exposed yourself. So you now say, oh, because you were born and educated in America, we Africans are beneath you, essentially.
It's something I've noticed between Africans. They're very jealous and envious of
You're
people
so
who are
sick.
born and raised
Your mentality
in
is sick.
America.
Your
I've
mentality
known
is
that
sick.
I've lived in Nigeria
It's
for
sick.
5 years as an adult, and I noticed it. It's a lot of envy, and I've also noticed it from
Okay,
Nigerians that are here in America. It's a lot of envy
yeah.
towards. I'm talking about this dude will have the Benz, the car, the house as an immigrant, and he'll still look at me with my American accent and be like, "Oh, whoa, like, who does this guy think he is? I got the Benz, I got the money. I'm the who came here and became a doctor. This guy is just the normal guy here." No, I know how it goes. I've seen
Popular,
it. I've seen that spirit of envy common amongst
so essentially,
immigrants.
you're just a hateful, jealous, weak man.
Essentially, I'm someone who just wanted to disprove the fact that Christianity didn't destroy Africa. Christianity isn't the reason why Africa the way it is today. That's all I was. You all are trying to make it look like Christianity is the only problem with why Africa is the way it is, and religion or whatever. It's not.
And there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm letting this play out, because I want you to keep exposing yourself for the kind of person you are. I've just learned something about you on this live. You are, and this is not the first time I've had you on my live. You are a very interesting person, and the fact that you done this, I think for me, this is what actually exposed you to me truly. You think that just because you're American, that you are above Africans.
Kingsley,
And
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Please do not interrupt me.
That's not true. You're telling me what I
Please do
think,
not.
and I'm telling you
Please,
that's not
please,
true. And
please.
you want to brainwash people to smear campaign me. That's not gonna work, dude. That's not
Oh,
true. That's your
so now you
opinion.
play the victim again. You play the victim.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
just gonna
talk.
just tag something on to me every time I make a statement, anyways. But no, that's not true. I don't think I'm superior.
That's what you said.
I'm
That's
an
what you said,
American.
Popular.
But I've noticed that a lot of Africans born in Nigeria, they have an inferiority complex. Even though they've lived in the UK, Canada for like 50, 20 years, they still have an inferiority complex
Yeah,
to a lot of Africans who are
okay.
born and raised in Africa, in America, or in the UK. That anybody that's born and raised in the UK knows that.
So that
Or
basically
outside of Africa knows that.
that basically includes you, right?
And we stop giving him attention.
Diminish what I'm saying and try to make it look like I'm saying something we tried to do. No.
But anyway,
That's that African envy in this.
What we are saying.
And that's our
If I
problem. That's why we have problems too. We don't even love ourselves. Look,
I got
see?
it.
We are talking the nonsense that he's been speaking here for how many minutes?
You know,
Oh,
No.
Get out of this line.
Egodi, wait now. Egodi, you said you gotta calm down and listen in. There's a reason why I'm letting this there's a reason why I'm letting it play out. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'm not falling into any trap.
it says
Please
there
allow
is-
me. No,
every time-
Umbra.
Better when most of y'all have an inferiority complex because someone's born and raised in America. Let's be real. Let's be
Guys,
real.
there's a
That's
reason
you,
I'm
but I think
letting
I'm
it. There's
better
a
though,
there's a
right?
there's a reason I'm there's a reason I'm there's
When you're just hating me just because of my accent or because of where I was born and raised.
there's
I've
a
lived
there's
in
a there's
Nigeria.
a
You can't tell me
there's
anything.
a
When's the
there's
last
a
time you lived in
reason I'm letting
Nigeria,
it play
dude?
out.
How long have you been
There's
in
a
Switzerland?
there's a
How long
reason
have
I'm
you all
letting
been
it
in
play out.
UK? How long have you been in
There's
Canada,
a
Umbra? I've lived in
there's a
Nigeria
reason I'm
for
letting it
5
play
years
out,
recently.
and the reason I'm letting it play out is because I want you to see what weakness looks like. I want you to see what hate looks like. You see, there's something about a black man that has no power. A black man that has no power is a very jealous man. A black man that has no power. I'm going somewhere. There's a reason I'm letting it play out. Trust me, I'm not falling into any trap. I'm letting things play out as the be. To see all this essentially just stems from jealousy. In the Western society, the Africans tend to do very well for themselves. And when they do well for themselves, this rubs the so-called natives the wrong way. And instead of them to compete, instead of them to fight and also win and create their own kingdoms, they don't challenge the people that own the system. They don't challenge the white man. They don't challenge the Asian man. They don't challenge any other group. What do they often do? They zero in on other black folks. They zero in on other black people because
You probably don't watch my content, man. You probably don't, because everything I talk about is pro-black. Everything you don't even.
And because they don't have the power to attack other groups, they come for the black folks. That's why you see them attacking Africans every single day. You guys do this, you guys do that. Are there some Africans that do certain things? Yes, absolutely. But it's not to the proportion that a lot of these guys talk about. The African and the white man in the Western civilization, who is your bigger threat? It's definitely not us, but they focus on us because we're easily accessible. But a lot of, and the reason I'm letting players say, I want you guys to see for yourself. That's why I'm letting it play out. You see, this is what powerlessness looks like. This is what envy looks like. This is what lack of influence looks like. And you see, when a man has no emotional control, when a man has no authority, a voice to speak with, he has to get it somewhere.
Not all that. I know that's a lie.
He has to get it somewhere, which is why he attacks women, like Popular did.
Continue with your smear campaign.
He attacks people that he believes to get power over. He lashes out. Exactly. This a man that is successful in himself. A man that is solid in himself. He doesn't do that.
That's our diplomat. My parents came to America with $100. Your parents are fucking millionaires, sent you to the Switzerland, and you still fucking hating. Like, come on, man. Like, this is my problem with a lot of y'all that's born and raised over there. I love y'all, but I noticed the hatred that I got just for being American in Nigeria. And I also noticed that when I came back, I was able to see it way clearer, even amongst
people. That's a lie. People hated you in Nigeria for being American.
You know what's funny? You know what's
gaslighter at this point.
You know what's
People
funny?
hated
Talking
you.
about
People hated
you know
you
what
for
panel
being
knows
American.
that could be possible.
Now I know you're bullshit.
Stop, dude.
Now I know you're bullshit.
Slick, man. They'll agree with you, but they know the truth, man.
Now stop bullshitting. People hated you in Nigeria.
Do you know the funniest part of it?
How many flyers
I went to school with people just like you. I have a degree from Renaissance University in Enugu State. My bachelor's degree is from there.
You know why this is funny?
I was in school with people just like you.
You know why this is funny to me?
Senator Rich Man Pekin, everything. You have everything in Nigeria. When I go to Onitsha,
You know why this
you
is
go
funny?
to Lagos. You go and say Victoria Island. But you still hating on me.
You know
Your
why this
father's
is
a
funny?
senator. Your father's a this and this and that. What are
You
you
know why this is
hating
funny?
on me?
Who's my
I'm wearing
performance
some
show?
old Nikes. I know it. I'm wearing old Nikes. Your father's an Alaji.
Guys,
Usman
Has a huge house in Lagos. My
Usman-
father needed barely complete his shit. So I know what it is.
who's my show face?
Nobody's gonna tell
know what's
me
funny?
that that's not true.
You know what's funny?
Americana. Oh, look at Americana. No,
You know what's funny?
no.
About
You're
you
not
know
gonna
what's
tell
funny
me
about
I'm school with elites like you. I've
You know
seen
what's
it
funny
in
about
America
this?
too. All these
Oh,
ones
bro,
that came
go
here
on,
in the
bro,
last 5 to 10
go.
years. I know
Go,
your
go, go.
father's like oh, what's your
You know
father?
what's funny? You know what's funny
PPL
about
mother at Nugu State.
you know what's funny about this?
But you hating on me.
You'll never hear. There's certain things you'll never hear from intellectually superior people, right? And first off, an intellectually superior person would ask, okay, so what are your credentials? Also, an intellectually superior person doesn't stay on forums where they feel they are being intellectually berated. Because no intellectual person wants to be the biggest person in the room. A real intellectual actually looks for a room where there's
Respect it. To me, this is
no, no,
exercise,
no,
man. This is exercise, homie.
hold on. So here's the thing, yeah. Now he said he was using an accent as the barometer, right? Now here's the thing, yeah. I've been out of the country for the better part of 28 years. So I'm not as young as I look, right? Um, also, like I don't also throw my CVs out there. This is not a place to throw your resumes because if you go resume to resume, you have to go back to the boys' quarters, right? So don't. That's not the premise for you to start with. You are underqualified for this conversation, all right? So you can take your hotel thing or whatever it is or
Your ego.
whatever whatever
Look at this dude. You're
ego,
underqualified. Who are you? Who are you to set the
whatever.
barometer? Who are
I don't
you
know.
to tell me that I'm
I don't
underqualified?
know.
Because of
I
what?
don't
Because of my
know.
feelings?
I
You don't
don't know
want to
where
get about
the
you.
I
I
mean,
don't know
popular.
where the wound.
I don't think you get to speak about feelings here on this panel.
I
Huh?
don't know where the wound is coming from, but there's a wound
Your
somewhere.
feelings. I'm not intellectually qualified.
You gotta go heal. You gotta go
Because of
heal, man.
I don't.
You
What is your
gotta go
father? A
heal, man.
diplomat? I bet this guy's father's probably a diplomat
Maybe,
too.
maybe instead of Onisha, stay in Lagos for a while.
You hate
Maybe,
me with your mastery of
maybe.
Nigerian
I
I don't
mean,
know,
lingo.
man.
but I'm not gonna lie, popular. I think you're a miserable guy, honestly.
Oh man, it's pathetic, pathetic,
Honestly, no offense.
pathetic.
I think you're just an angry man. Honestly,
It's misdirected anger.
You can't debate me on anything. You can't
I
debate me on
think
anything.
deep
All you can do
down,
is
I
try to
think.
slander me and try to discredit me and try to discredit my message.
So now you
So,
want to
so,
Intellectually,
so
you
popular.
no,
cannot
no, guys,
debate me on
wait,
anything.
wait.
That's why you're
Oh,
constantly hesitant to let me on your platform. But I
You,
like your platform
no,
because
no,
I'm
no,
able to
wait,
speak
wait,
to
wait,
my people.
wait,
And
wait,
I,
wait.
you,
No,
you,
no, no,
unfortunately,
no, no, no,
because
no,
of the
no.
level of truth I
We're not your
speak,
people. We're
I'm
not your
heavily
people. We're not
censored on
your.
this
We're
program,
not your
on
people.
this
We're not your
platform.
people. You have clearly said we are not your people. So don't try and dip back and forth.
You don't have to be my people, but I know there's plenty of Igbo people in this group.
No,
So
no, but
my
let me
people
tell
are
you
here. You
something.
can't tell me that.
Let me
I am
tell you
Igbo.
something.
I am Igbo, man. I'm Igbo. I am Igbo.
Guys, wait. Let's
Everybody's
guys, wait,
Igbo.
wait, wait,
It's not
wait.
a tribal thing. It's not a racial thing. It's not a tribal thing.
Guys, wait. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Huh?
something. Let
And
me
now
tell
you're
you.
saying you're not my people. Then you want to talk
I
about
want.
African unity. Look at
I
this.
want to
Y'all
tell
are
you.
full of shit.
Dude, are
And
you?
I'm talking. You're saying I'm your people. You say no, you're not. Y'all not serious. Y'all not serious. Y'all not serious. Y'all just
Dude,
talking. Y'all yapping.
ego,
The truth
ego,
is, I
ego,
would have done my own
D.
platform, but you see TikTok, they censor me. They won't even let me go live. So I have to rebuild another profile. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. But I'll be there and I'll let you speak. But you're not going to be able to really debate me on my platform.
Okay,
That's
so
one thing that's for
let
certain.
me speak. Let me speak. Popular, do you listen to the things you say, or you just listen? You just say whatever you say at the latest moment? Because I'm going somewhere. You literally came up and you said you've seen, you insulted Africans, by the way, which I think you've probably forgotten what you
I
said because
never
you're gonna
did.
say I'm trying
No,
to
I
shame
didn't.
you.
No, I didn't. I said that a lot of Africans have an inferiority complex, especially Africans that are born and raised in Africa, to Africans that are born and raised in the diaspora. That is 100% true. You can't even deny that. Everybody knows that. You
Can
can't
I
deny
tell you how you
that.
insulted Africans with what you said? Can I tell you that? Or you're gonna say I'm slandering you? Can I tell you that? Unmute yourself and answer me.
I'm listening.
When you came up here, you said a lot of Africans, you said this. You said I can't remember word for word, but essentially you insinuated that a lot of our education system in Africa makes us less than you because you are in America and we're in Africa. You insinuated that. Are you gonna
Actually,
say I'm are you gonna say I'm
he didn't
slandering?
Come on,
insinuate
bro.
it. He
What
actually
are we
said it
talking
directly.
about, bro?
It wasn't an
What are we talking
insinuation. He said it
about? I'm
directly.
sorry. What are we talking about? I'm talking about the formative years of education. Can you compare? Yes, we know a lot. There's a lot of the whiz Nigerians that come after they do crackhead and do SS3 algebra at 14 years old, algebra 5 at 4. Algebra 2 or 3. They do it at an early age or whatever. Yeah, but I'm talking about the formative years. That has a very important impact. You
Okay,
cannot
but
compare the formative education
okay,
of the
but
United
I have
States
a
of
question.
America
But
to
I have a
any
question.
African
I have a
country.
question. Okay, yeah, true. But the Africans are outperforming you though by a large margin.
Why not? Why not? That's supposed to be like that. We're both Igbo. Why wouldn't be there some Igbos that are outperforming me educationally?
So no, I'm talking
Whether they're
about
born here or born there.
because I'm
There's
confused
ones
because
that are outperforming me here that are born here, and there's ones that come from Nigeria that are outperforming me. So,
so
It's not just Igbos. It's not just Igbos. It's Yorubas too, and some Hausas too,
Nigerians in general.
and some
Well, I'm gonna,
Nigerians in general.
it's not
It's
even
not an
just
Igbo thing.
Nigerians. So what are you saying? You're
but
not saying nothing.
but I'm gonna say this popular, and I'm gonna move on for after this. You and people that think like you are truly in the black community. You're a symptom of the black man who thinks. Well, you're a symptom of the black man who has no power. And because you have no power, you look for somebody to dunk on. And oftentimes, these
That's
people
not
tend
true.
to
I
be
have plenty of power,
these
man. I
people
have
tend to
plenty of
be
power within
people that look
myself
like
alone.
you.
That's why
These
I told
people
her
tend to
altar for altar.
be
Let's go.
these people tend to be Africans, which is very insidious. And you bully them. You say all sort of things
Can
to
I?
them. And Omra, let me land, please. You bully them because I can guarantee you this same energy you don't have for the white man. This energy you don't have for the Asians. This energy
Oh,
you don't
you
have for
wish I
people.
didn't. You wish I
Because
didn't. I'm not you. I'm not black. Excuse me, because like black American people. I'm not black American. I got
there's
energy
a
for
lot of
everybody,
there's a
including
lot
Africans
of
in Africa,
and it's
about
so
how we need
funny
to get our
because
stuff together.
it's so funny to me because at one live you came up and you said that men don't need therapy. And
That's
you
not
are
what
a
I
perfect
said. That's
example that we do
you
need
just
therapy.
do. You just slanderous, man. Disgustingly. I said
And it
that
was there.
thing cannot
And it
finish
was
your.
there. And it was
That
there.
cannot help you. That cannot solely help you. That cannot be your only form of. That cannot solve all your problems. That's what I said. I made it clear that day. So don't come
That's
and
not what you
gaslight
said.
me and try to slander me. But that is what I
You
said. You're not
need
gonna tell me what I
therapy.
said. So you can hear from the
I'll say
horse's mouth. Y'all
this.
can just listen to him.
I'll say this. Papa, then I'll pass it on to Umbra. Then we're going to move on. You are somebody that needs help. You need therapy. Yeah, and
Based on because you so look at
whatever
this dude,
content
man. I try to really
and
be cordial with Kingsley,
whatever
but it's
content
just
you're
obvious this
carrying.
dude doesn't really like me. But
Whatever.
he knows the
Oh,
value I can bring to his platform
you see,
and how
you see.
you see the power that's on me. You
One thing. See, one thing about people like Popular is this: they are very great at playing victim. They throw shade, and then when you challenge them, all of a sudden he's the victim. That's it. That's manipulative as fuck,
what are
and that
you
doesn't work for me.
saying? You're a
And
manipulator.
you came in here with energy for a Igodi. She never insulted you. You insulted her, called her a witch, and now we're holding you accountable. All of a sudden, you're the victim. At every
But she
corner
said
where
she's
we
a witch.
hold, at
She
every
said she's a
corner.
witch. So what are you talking about?
And I don't know which is globally. I don't know which is globally. So why do you have the energy for the woman? Why don't you attack all the men? Why don't you attack all the men? Why don't you attack all the men? Typical coward behavior. You attack the woman. You attack her. You have the energy for the woman.
Very, very cowardly.
Very cowardly. I mean, I've said
Very
things.
cowardly.
Umbra has said things, but why you attack the woman?
Very
I mean, again, like I said, you sound like the
He's
typical
gone. He's left.
weak. I dropped him.
Oh,
I dropped him because enough is enough. You don't get. You talk about the other life. He said men don't need therapy. Well, clearly, bro, you do. Clearly, you do.
right.
Let's move on. But I wanted to address him because I've been watching the way he's been commenting on my live. I was like, yeah, time to see. Time to see. And also for the men that always claim to be emotionally high value, you guys are clearly very emotional too, huh? I've noticed The men that always claim how stable they are, high value this, high that, you're very easily triggered. I will say that much. You guys need therapy,
He
big
mentioned
time therapy.
he mentioned something about actually being fluent in English. So is that the yardstick now to actually say someone is intelligent, or
You
what
know,
does it mean?
I've seen this happen a lot with the FBA. He's a part of the FBA. I can already smell it.
Yeah.
He's part of the FBA movement, and these guys are oftentimes they are black American men with no power, and because they have no power, they need to get that power somewhere. And typically, this comes from women, number one, and other black folks, number two. So it's going to be mostly well, women need to submit. Yet he has no power. Yet he doesn't control nothing. Even if you dunk on Africans. Yet guess what? Africans are outperforming you. And now, are there Africans that says bad things about African Americans? But I can swear on my life, it's not the majority. The fact that you would lie on Nigerians and say Nigerians were hating on you for being American, I knew automatically that was bullshit. BS. Nigeria, where we love every where no. That's the Nigerians that will hype you up for even being American. We copy Americans to a large extent.
My best friend is American. My best friend was born here.
Crazy.
No.
But anyway, let's get back on. Umbra, I wanted to say something. Sorry, but let's get back on track.
Man, you don't talk everything.
Popular. We're opposites, and I'm glad we're opposites. Thank you. Go on, Umbra.
You don't talk everything finish. And something you said that I want, like, if 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 everybody didn't understand it, it needs to be reiterated again. Disenfranchised black men only have a demographic to lash out on. They are not going to stand up to their oppressors, their direct oppressors. No, they wouldn't. They are not going to. If you ask that guy, what steps have you taken to make your voice heard in any sphere or community or fora? Nada. Or their job is to dunk on black women, all the people they think they are better than. And you know, it is usually not a coincidence that he proclaims Christianity, because it suits him so well. The superiority complex. And you see, this is another thing that religion actually bestows on people. And not everybody, but a lot of people don't escape it. And I think it depends on how evolved you are on a personal and spiritual level, where you know that dunking on somebody does not advance your argument, it only maybe even damages it. But the last resort is always to belittle the next person they think that they have the upper hand on. And it is always very telling, and they're always alike, like you said. Very, very much alike. And again, this is religion at play again. So this guy came and buttressed the whole argument of why we were even here. For a Nigerian man to stand up and say, no, I'm a Christian, but you people that were not raised in the Christian places are as mentally inferior. That is the hallmark, that is the epitome of why we are even here in the first place. This is what we are addressing. And he came here like a clown, acted it out perfectly, perfect choreography, and bowed out. Let's give him a hand clap. Give him a hand clap. I salute you. Yeah, that's it.
Well put. Well put. Okay, guys. So we're gonna bring order back to the platform. Thank you so much, Ombra, for coming it down. Much respect, man. Usman, you want to say something or you're good? If not, we're gonna bring order back and we're gonna get back to the discussion. Okay. Umbra, are you good? Okay, you're good. Usman, you want to go or you good?
I think I'm good. Yeah, for now.
Okay, you're good. Eno, dear, you want to say something or you good?
Yeah, that was very interesting. Actually, he's joined a lot of your lives, and as you,
He showed his ass today, huh?
yeah, I'm happy that you allowed him, because a couple of times, especially when we are talking about issues about relationships and dating and women, and then self-improvement, I was always trying to figure out, is his problem that he's a religious fan? Like, why does this guy think the way he does? And I think today he's just exposed himself by playing out his character in a way that I understand it. And Umbra made a very interesting analysis of that, in that it is not accidental that someone like that is a religious fanatic, because religious fanatics have this superiority complex. They always have to reign over something. Christ has to die to make you special. There's something that you have to have a superiority complex to be a Christian, and like Ego said, force it down everybody's throat, whether or not people want to hear it, whether people want to be preached to. So he's a typical, like Umbra said it perfectly. It is not accidental that Popular is a Christian. And in my perspective, he's a religious, extremely religious fanatic, and is looking for power by looking for the other that he thinks is better than, because it's so crazy for him to say that Nigerians hated him. I was like, no, it's not in Nigeria. Maybe in your dreams, but the Nigeria that everybody knows, once you
What?
have a little bit of an accent, people treat you like a god. And Nigerians are nice to everybody, especially people that they perceive to be foreign. So how dare you come on this platform to say
Disgusting.
nonsense, But yeah, thank you so much. Another point I was going to make is Umbra has shared so much, and I know that you're tired, Kingsley, but I think you need to host Umbra on this religious talk, because I am very interested in this topic. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now.
No. Actually, Umbra and Usman and Kenna. I don't know if Kenna is around. Actually, Eno. Eno. How I met Umbra and Usman, sir, bro. We're talking about Nigerians, not actually. Yo, that live, man. It was like 9 hours. Umbra Usman, 9 hours. I swear, it's on my TikTok live. I tried to download it. It was still processing for like 1 hour. I know, that's how I met Usman, Kenna, Umbra, and Hausa Arewa. Like, it was a nice chat, but very heated. But even when we disagreed with each other, we shouted, we screamed, but we always kept it respectful. You understand? So indeed, I'm actually planning on having maybe like a weekly chat with like Nigerians to talk about the political future, where we want to go. Niger Delta versus maybe not versus, but Niger Delta, South and North Nigeria. What do we actually want to do? You understand? So that's actually what I'm thinking of bringing in Usman, if you have the time, of course. When you have the time, to like just chip in, and other Northerners, Southerners. I want to start like a dialogue where we can just keep talking, keep the conversation going, so that we can keep it fresh on where we want to have Nigeria going. But on the religion aspect, Omra, I will indeed bring you maybe on the podcast to just talk about that directly. But what I want 2025 to be about is I want to see how I can use my platform to bring more Nigerians into politics and to talk about politics, and let us be aware about politics, but also on the black community too, to try and get us healthier and cleaner. Yeah. So that's how I met actually Usman, Kenna, and Ombra. It was very nice. But yes, he showed himself today.
I know the reason why you were happy that day, because you guys won, right?
Did we win? I don't think it was. I don't know what Umbra thinks. Maybe Umbra can speak for himself, but I don't think it was about who. I think for me it was just to voice my frustration as a Niger Deltan. That was my goal. But I don't know what Umbra thinks. I cannot speak for him, but I don't think it was more about who won or lost. It was more like, can I voice my Dapo? You too. I'd like to have Dapo on that chat. But Umbra, what do you think? Though? Do you think it was about winning or losing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't see it as, the thing is, the argument devolved to a place where certain points had to be proven, and we kind of got our point across, right? And it's like we can't be. And the thing is, we're constantly educating ourselves. This is what I think, and this is what the platform is great for, right? We learn. If we had certain notions that were cake before, we can update those notions, right? But let us not be stuck in the past. Let us start to address and articulate our present scenarios. Because if we don't do that, then how are we articulating the future, right? So, but the thing is, when it comes to Nigeria, it's always a very complicated matter, right? And it got heated. Some people want
Yeah.
to leave Nigeria, some people don't want to leave. And fair enough. Like we have our misgivings, like because like blood has been spilled, like really, like literally. We fought a civil war. So of course it's gonna be a heated discussion. But at the end of the day, we should also know our limits. We were not disrespectful, like you said. We're
No,
not
no.
disrespectful. We're throwing jabs here and there, but it was still relatively very civil. And that's the kind of decorum that we need if we're going to hold conversations. Man, Usman's input was invaluable that day, and there was another guy too. But the thing is, as long as we're seeing on the same wavelength, then maybe progress can be made, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that was the goal, right? Conversations. Just because these conversations for Nigeria are barely had. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a platform that where Nigerians, for I don't know, maybe Usman, of Northerners, Southerners, actually talking about the realities and day to day of their country. I don't think it happens. So that's why what. Now that I have some good minds, from the north, Usman, Kenna, I really like. Honestly, I really
Yeah,
enjoyed the Northerner
I really
contribution. It
like
was
your
nice.
I like
You
your
know,
platform because I think that was the first time I joined your platform, and I was at the comment section, and the way I was seeing you when I was at the comment section, I was like, then when you pick me up, and then I saw a different person. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So and then I really like it. You try to be very honest, and you really balance the differences. And
yeah,
I
I won't
like
lie.
Umbra too. I like Umbra too because I remember my first sentence. He was just shaking his head. He was like, "No, no, no, no." He was disagreeing with me. So I'm like, "Yeah, I like it that way, and I like it respectively. Yeah, we should
Yeah,
just keep respecting ourselves." And yeah, thank you.
absolutely. And I'm going to get it back to the others. But the thing is, I'm not going to lie. I was a lot of times very not the most controlled guy. But that was purely coming from a place of anger, pure anger, because nobody listens to us when we speak. The Niger Delta, the Akwa Ibom man, and that was where it's coming from. So it was more like just letting it all out. But in our next conversations, it's more okay. I've got it. It's going to be more like structured in terms of okay, what next? What's the next step, and how can we hold our leaders accountable? But anyway, that's besides the point. So that was just to, I guess, a long answer to it. But I don't know who wants to go. Okay, Umbra, go ahead. After Umbra, then just unmute yourself and speak, right? So we let it go. Umbra, go ahead, man. I'll grab a cup of
I have
tea.
to I have to say something though. You taught me a lesson in patience today. If I was hosting, I don't think I would have had the patience. But like, yeah, your patience was very calculated, and you gave him a rope to hang himself. And
Yeah.
I think because me, I'm very, very when it comes to certain issues, I don't think I'm as good a moderator because I will just but again, it also highlights the real issues. Like everybody should speak and let us know. So kudos to you for giving him a breath, dig a hole, bury yourself, which is what he did. And that was a lesson. So that was a master class in patience, man, my guy.
No, that's one thing I've learned from TikTok, bro. I've
That's
been on TikTok 2 years. It just sometimes you just gotta let it. I mean, I try my best to let people speak, but when you start insulting like Africans for no reason or Nigerians especially, like bro, Nigerians hated you for being America. That you just know that's bullshit, dude. What? You know how many African Americans are doing dirty December right now, living their best life? Yeah, bro. I know Oyibo people bro, I know Oyibo people, they go to Nigeria, they don't want to go back.
Can I say something?
They don't want to go back.
Can I say
They
something?
prefer Lagos over Berlin. I
Can I
know.
say
Yes.
something? Can I say something?
Go on,
Can I
then
say?
we pass it on to others. Go on, go on.
I have a friend. Props to Dr. Zakia. She's got a PhD in social and African studies. She went to Nigeria. We met on a Facebook Live back then, and then she messaged me. She said, "Yo, you're in Nigeria?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Listen, I want to go back to Nigeria. I want to study Ifa." I'm like, "Ma'am, please hold your horses. This is not something." She's like, "Listen. I know what you're gonna say. These are my antecedents." So I hooked her up. This was 2012. By 2013, she had arrived. 2013 February, she had arrived Lagos State. She said, "I'm taking the cab now. I'm going to be in Lagos for a few days. I'll call you when I'm taking the cab." She called me when she was taking the cab to Oshu State. She was in Oshu State in Ifa Temple for 16 months. That's an academic. She went back. She got a tenure. She married this Yoruba guy. We had a thing going on then, but like I was like, whatever. But we're still good friends. So the thing is, when you start to talk of qualifications and all that, here's an academic who's just like, listen, I know all that stuff is bullshit. I'm trying to get to the heart of the matter. She studied IFA, she's teaching, so she has people that she has referrals to. They go to Osun State to learn the IFA system, divinity. And it's not one, it's not two. They go there in droves. So when people come with this whole intellectual, no, it is intellectually dishonest to think that somebody else has the divinity that benefits you. That is the most intellectually dishonest thing you can do. So I don't know. These guys just contradict themselves.
No, just let him go. See, no, and I'm going to involve other people so that we can move on. But the thing is, Umbra, like I said earlier many times, is weak, especially in the black community, especially black men. And this is another topic, but we're not going to focus on it. A lot of black men feel powerless, Umbra. I'm telling you, I've done my own observation on this, and I'm telling you, a lot of black men feel powerless, and we need power. We all need power. Me, I get my power from my ability to create my own thing and try to bring my community together. I feel good about that. You understand? And a lot of black men that feel this, especially in America, right? A lot of black men that feel this low power, no voice. It hurts, man. Especially in the African American society. Black men are not the power structure. I mean, in Africa, for African men, the advantage we have is that yes, our leaders are effing us up a lot of African leaders are our biggest problem. But let's not lie. If we see our prime minister, he looks like us. Our president, he looks like us. Our governor looks like us. Our local government chairman, in fact, the guy that is oppressing us looks like us. You understand? He looks like us. So we are involved. We are running the economy, even though it's poorly. We are doing so. We are good. We are the sign of power to an extent in our societies in Africa, right? They are not, right? They are not, and they need to get that power somewhere, which often typically means women. That's why you see a lot of women are not submitting 50-50, this, that. So and you look at the white man running the country. The white man determines who gets loans or not. The Asian man is coming to your neighborhood too, and you cannot fight those people because they will crush you. So who can you bully? Women, especially black women and other black people. So it's like, oh, let's go to Africans now. Let's go to Caribbeans now. Oh, I'm FBA. You are African. I'm like, are you really telling me in the American setup that the African is your biggest issue? Absolutely not.
You know where this stuff starts. When you look at statistically, I'm a data guy. Statistically, you have Asians, especially Asian women and men, are on par on a professional. So when they're looking at demographics, highly educated, successful, right? So, but of course, the American system, they're always going to say, "What are you bringing in per year?" So Asians are top because these guys are sitting on the top of the tech totem pole, right? My friend is a recruiter for Micron. He was telling me, dude, you see this whole argument with Elon Musk and all this stuff? He said this thing is dead on arrival. He says because he's the head of the recruitment team. He says you will see a Sanyong and a Sanjeep 100 times before you see an Adam Smith on paper. Why? Tech-wise, these guys are on the totem pole. Now, when you look at it, the totem pole is Asians, right? Southeast Asians, right? And then whites, educated ones. And then on the bottom of the ladder is Mexican men. Right after that is black men. Black women actually are sitting 2 steps ahead. And this is a problem because you now find so many black American men who cannot find suitable partners because the women are going to school and they're getting serious with their lives. They dissented patriarchy and they're like, you know what? I'm just going to do for me because, hey, my dad wasn't there. I
Yeah.
don't want to end up like my mom. So the economic divide is so crazy that this is where the problem starts. So the unevolved ones start to look at black women as something they need to conquer.
Makes sense because I've been seeing it a lot on social media, man. God damn, bro.
This is the reality. They see black women as something they need to conquer, and when they cannot conquer it, then they lash out. So this thing is not. It is showing in
Strategy.
very very
Okay.
different stratas.
We'll talk about. I'll DM you offline so that we can set up a podcast, like a proper. I'll invite you for a podcast session, bro. Then we can talk about multiple things, okay, bro? Like we focus on certain topics, okay?
Voila.
All right. Egodi, I want to apologize. There's nothing wrong with you, my dear man. Do what you want to do. I know you didn't take offense to that, but you're
Mr.
totally
Kingsley,
fine, okay?
Mr.
Yeah.
Kingsley, you don't know me. I get this skill. That guy cannot match my energy. I'm
That's
not even
good.
thinking about him. He cannot match my energy half.
That's
So
good. That's
forget
good.
about him.
Yeah.
Umbra, if you see how I've just been looking at you and listening to you with, man, I just see men that think like this. I'm yet to believe it, I beg. It's well, don't worry. Mr. Kingsley, I'm very happy that I came to your life today. I've
You're
learned a
welcome.
whole lot. I know I have depth, but there's something that something that you now came to a platform where that thing you think they are teaching you on another level. I'm so happy to be here.
No, it's okay. No, and that's why my plan. That's why, like I told you guys, I'm building a. This is part of my media company, right? I'm building a company to connect over 1 billion, the 1 billion black community, and as part of what I'm building is I want to create a platform where the black community can connect and talk about our issues in an open way. I don't care about if every opinion is welcome. Even if I disagree with your opinion, it's welcome. I disagree with something. I mean, no, I'll come to you. I mean, when Usman, again, I'm going to circle it back to how I met Umbra, Usman, and Kenna and Harawa. Bro, we disagreed. Like it was fire and ice. We argued for 9 hours, but we didn't drop anybody. I didn't drop anybody
On another level.
because I understand that this is Usman is coming as a northerner, Kenna is coming from a north. They are passionate about their angle. Umbra is coming from his place. I'm coming from my place. Titanic was here. We are coming from, but it's everybody can speak their mind because we need to. We need to.
Yeah.
How about if I drop Usman because I disagree with him? What's the point of all that? Then it's an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber. You understand? So that's what that's the goal. That's the goal behind here. And I know it's not gonna be easy, but we gotta do it, right? Egodi.
Yeah, sure. I'm in already. You will be
Yeah.
seeing more of me. I'll always be here.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Usman. Thank you,
Could
Umbra.
I
Thank
say
you,
one thing?
everyone. No. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome, dear. Kim Annan, go ahead.
Yes. It was in response to that our African or his American brother.
Are you
But
from Akwa Ibom?
no, from Cameroon, but I have relatives from Nigeria.
That's an Akwa Annan. Yeah, from Akwa Ibom State.
Yeah, I think my mother's side.
Yeah. I'm part Cameroonian actually. You see what I mean? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, about the same. Yeah. So honestly, I spent some time in the US, even though right now I'm studying in Europe. But when I first arrived, basically the first thing my aunts told me was I should stay away from. I wouldn't want to use slurs, but I should stay away from them. So growing up, I didn't like associate with them due to the advice our parents gave me, and I kind of stayed away from most people who look like me and stuff like that. But nonetheless, not to say that there's like a divide, but in some cases, they're right because the neighborhood itself was not safe. And what else can I say? I think as well, excuses is also another thing. Like from my point of view, a lot of those I saw were mostly excuses, like giving one reason to the next, but instead of just sitting down and focusing on education and stuff like that, and looking at a serious career and pursuing it to the end. And I think that's also one great problem. Very few people, few of I wouldn't like to say us, but very few people are willing to like follow a serious career, go through college and get that degree and actually pursue a job. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just what I want to say.
That's your point. Okay, no, thanks for personally, I hear you, but I mean, I get it. The older generation have their own thing. I typically am not an advocate for don't engage with people from. It's not my style, because I believe. Don't get me wrong. I love black community. I love black culture. I love black folks. I engage. You understand? There are good and bad eggs everywhere, bruh. You understand? There are some black Americans that are amazing, fantastic leaders of communities. They are there, but then they are bad eggs. Just like you have terrible Africans, example, you also have good Africans, right? Like just
Yeah,
again,
no, that's just growing up.
yeah,
But at least I've grown up now and I've understood things by myself, and I've gotta
yeah.
kind of go past that.
Yeah, yeah. That's why we have this platform so that we can bring us together, have chats, disagree, but also to see good examples. So Mba, I don't think you've said anything lately. Mary is new, or if you have not, okay, are you there, Mba?
Just want to say this platform is really a good platform, and I feel like if we come here, we are coming to gain knowledge, to share what we know, and this guy's behavior. I don't know so much about Black Americans because I actually had a friend like that. So
I'm not minus Guinea. Minus Guinea. Did you hear my language? Minus Guinea.
Are you okay?
what I want to say,
It sounds like
if there's any Black American listening to me, listening to us, I want them to know that there's first of all that background history of you sold us to the whatever, some of them have that mind that they are where they are because we let them go. So when I hear people like popular
Mba,
people,
your audio is coming in and out.
oh sorry, I'll just leave. Okay, so I'm saying that when I hear people like him talk, I feel like some of them are talking from that place of anger, They feel like, oh, we defend them, we didn't stop what happened and all that. And also some of them talk out of ignorance. They don't really understand that in as much as they feel pain wherever they are, the black pain is a common pain. We feel it no matter where you find yourself in this world. If you're a black person, we have a common struggle, and I feel like that's one thing Black Americans should actually understand. The problem is a common problem. We back home, we love them as much, and I don't think there is any competition. Well, I'm going to talk as a woman because when I see a Black American woman, I don't see her as a competition. I just see her as another Black woman, and I feel like they should have peace and really accept that those of us back home, we have genuine love for them. We hype them. We support.
I think they know that. If I'm being honest with you, let's be honest. They know that it's just the ones that want to be divisive. Okay, look, Mba, I'm going to just very respectfully. No, Mba, I'm going to respectfully interrupt you because I understand where and I understand where you're going, and I do see that, but they know that. But you see, you have to understand something. When somebody wants to be divisive, they need to create a reason to be divisive. You understand? You have to create a. It's like when people want to, if they want to dehumanize you, you understand, Mba. They have to make you the enemy. It's a common strategy used by terrorist groups. It's a common strategy used by authoritarian groups. For example, they have to say, oh, they hate us, they are our enemy, they are rats, they are vermins, they are uneducated. When the West wanted to colonize Africa, what did they say? They said we are savages. They are savages.
Trump
We are
said,
going there to educate them because they are what? Savages. And when you say they are savages, you dehumanize them. You create an
Trump,
enemy.
sorry, bro. Trump said they're eating the cats and the dogs.
There you go. There you go. It's a common tactic used by people that want to be divisive. But go on, Mba. I just wanted to put that out there for you, okay?
Thank you. And I feel like this, what Popular Thunder, that's his name, I feel like that's just a tip of an iceberg. There's more. There are more Black Americans like him. And I feel like Kingsley, if you can act, they're already doing it, They need to understand that even though we are far apart, we are away, like we are not so close to each other, their struggle is our struggle. Our struggle should be their struggle as well. I don't think, and Christianity, because that's where all this came from, is should not be our problem. We should talk about Christianity, religion, and other stuff, but it shouldn't lead us to, to, to a place where we start name calling, insulting, and dragging one another down. We are blacks, we are strong, we are amazing people, and really, the first time I left Africa, all like, in fact, what I can say here is that Black people are amazing people. We are psychologically stronger than any other race. I'm not even gonna lie about this because the bullshit that we take on the international scene, another race would not. So we are amazing, and Kingsley, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Yes,
Again.
sir.
absolutely. You're
Yes,
welcome.
sir.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Yes, sir.
Jonathan, yeah, welcome.
Nice to meet you. You guys are actually giving like really valid points. Nice to meet everyone on the panel. My name is Jonathan. I'm from DRC, but I live in South Africa. So I actually understand like the point of view that you're actually like giving, even in the perspective of people who are like living in America, because their perspective, as much as we see Americans, the fact that America controls like the media so much, and we've already identified how American people's lifestyles are. How do you think that they feel like again about our lifestyle? Because the whole world watches them, or they are the stage of the whole world. That's the reason why even we as Africans, we can even look at Americans and be like, nah, these people are kind of different from us. There's also that psychological battle that we also have as Africans against African Americans, and African Americans also have that. That's also another thing that we're going to have to solve, because as much as we understand that African Americans are part of us, because there's this exposure of media that they've had, we've kind of viewed African Americans as like, yeah, we even call those guys like, the N word. Yeah, these guys are the N word, even though we don't even associate with that because of how we're exposed to that. And then how do you think that they view us? They also view us like, oh no, if you and America has done a good job at scaring the African Americans to not come back to Africa. I won't lie, they've actually done a good job. I mean, with penitentiary and all of those, and hip hop and drugs and guns, they've done a good job to avoid these guys from coming back, and kind of like seeing that, hey man, I accept this type of lifestyle of gang banging and stuff because I can't go back to Africa. Then you hear African people, I accept my type of lifestyle. And Africa is not perfect. I grew up in Johannesburg, Hillbrow. It's not perfect. It's a rough hood, but then you'd also be like, nah, I wouldn't want to go and associate myself with those type of people. That's also another psychological warfare that has been done, and it's one thing that we have to at least break. And it's a hard thing to break because we're talking about different cultures. The Americans have been there for over 400 years, so they've created their own type of culture. As much as they come from our roots, the fact that they've been there for so many years, they've developed their own type of standard of living. That's why we can't even convince them to come back home, because they've been there so many years. they've adapted to it, because not if them there. So you can understand why there's a psychological warfare, and that's why it's kind of hard for all black people. It's but the revolution is starting, whether the Caucasian love it or not. The revolution is starting where everyone is coming together. But that's another thing that we're going to have to tackle, that psychological thing that we have on each other as African people. Once that is broken, it's done, man. I feel like
Okay.
it's done.
Got you, bro. Just some housekeeping, guys. Please let's keep tapping the live. Let's get to 50K likes, please, just to get the algorithm to, so that the algorithm knows that there's engagement. Thank you so much. So let's get to 50K likes. Once we get to 50K likes, I can bring some new people up. After Umbra, go ahead. After Umbra, we're gonna go to OMG. After OMG, we'll go to Mary. Umbra, go ahead, man.
All right, man. Thanks, bro. I have a slightly contrarian view to what has just been said. And my take is this: there's a dangerous thing that Africans do, that we handhold everybody. And it is in our nature, for some reason, to do so. We've always done so. This is why we've been taken for granted so long. And the thing is also that you can't negotiate or educate people who are invested in misunderstanding you. So while I do agree that yes, we must adopt a very non martial approach to our brothers outside, there also it's imagine i- imagine establishing boundaries with a friend that doesn't really understand it. You can't open your doors and expect them not to take advantage, because if the understanding isn't there, then you will run into problems again. And then our people, we grew up with an adage, they say charity begins at home, right? So fair enough. Very good point, Jonathan. Very good point, and also from Ba. But at the same time, we must be careful not to tolerate certain rhetoric in the name of being tolerant. It doesn't work. It doesn't work all the time. Because here's the thing, yeah, there are the few that have done their homework and have read books to say, you know what, I'm going to educate myself.
Yeah.
Then they're the ones that have swallowed propaganda, as if it was shoved down their throats. And then the thing is, even again, I always like to use the whole books because a lot of us draw parallels, right? You have to reason for yourself. God said, let us reason together. If you are not updating, and then the same Bible said, be ye transformed by.
No, I think he had a call. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. All good.
Right. And then the same Bible said, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. Right? That's Matthew. So the thing is, you have to be constantly updating yourself. You can't be spoon fed things. You have to actually go out there and actually educate yourself. So the thing is, for people like, I'm tired of mentioning the gentleman's name or whatever it is.
No,
Right?
he's a forgotten cause. It's history.
Yeah. But you see, the thing with people like that is they're invested in you misunderstanding them. They're not trying to reason with
Absolutely.
you the same way your oppressor is not trying to reason with you.
Yeah.
Unknowns to him, he has already taken the side of the oppressor and he doesn't even know it. He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
He's perpetuating the same dynamic that the oppressor has taught him.
Superiority complex. He just doesn't realize
Superiority
it.
complex.
Yeah.
So at the same time, sometimes we have to be harsh.
Yeah.
We can't be loving all the time. It's the same way before, where black women had to handhold black men every step of the way before we started seeking therapy and things. You can't be handheld to your freedom all the time. Sometimes you have to know that you have a problem and then seek it out yourself. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying no, we have to be harsh to everybody who doesn't understand us. No, that's not what I'm saying. But when you see that somebody's invested in misunderstanding you, don't waste the energy. There's energy to be put elsewhere.
True.
You can be brash, you can be harsh. because already they already took a stand, whether you even know it or not. You know, so that's what I'm trying to say.
I'll just add to what Ombra said, and it's true. You have, especially Africans, especially Black Africans, we are too tolerant. A lot of us are too understanding. We're too tolerant, and we have to take a bit of a militant approach. But we need to be realistic. You need to know that some people, like you said, some people, they need you to be the enemy. You are the enemy, no matter what you do. You are the bad guy because they need you in that position to justify their unjustifiable anger towards you. They need you to be low. It's like when I tell people in Africa, oh, you think the European man, the Asian man wants you to rise as an African? No, because their number one place comes because you're at the bottom. So if you want to now switch, of course they're not going to like it. So you must be willing to fight back. So that's why, to your point, anybody, especially in this day and age, we live in 2025, guys. Let's be honest. You can if you need answers to anything, you can find it. In my opinion, when you're above the age of 18, above the age of 20, this ignorance is no longer an excuse. In my opinion, ignorance is no longer an excuse. Once you cross a certain age, that's how I was raised. It's a bullshit excuse. I've learned a lot of things sitting down on this couch to learn. You understand, Jonathan? What do you want to say, bro?
I'm saying it's perfect what you're saying, man. It's this thing of us using this ignorance like as an excuse. I feel like it's done with saying that, oh no, our people went through. Yes, may I accept that our people went through a lot of pain, and there should be a reparation for that. I will still stand for that. I feel like if you're going to do that, you're going to get paid for what you do. I feel that's how the universe works. But at the same time, we shouldn't use that like as an excuse of being like, okay, so that's the reason. Well, now we are going to wait. We're gonna wait for the time when the reparation happens. And that's what they're trying to condition us. Okay, don't worry. There's going to be a time where we're going to feel sorry for you and give you everything that we took from you. They're not gonna do that. That's not how the world works. The world goes forward. The more we are now sitting down here waiting, okay, they actually promised us that they're gonna change everything. These guys are building multi-generational things for their families and stuff, and then we are out here. Do you see where now we can't even start blaming people? At this point, it's just us. If we end up flopping from 2025 going onwards, there's no way that we can start blaming other people. There is no way, especially with the information we have, there is no way that we can blame people.
Facts.
Telling you.
Facts. No, I agree. OMG, the floor is yours, dear. OMG. Mary, are you there?
Not here. She's not here.
Who's not here? Egodi?
The OMG, yeah.
OMG, okay. Mary, are you there? If nobody's there, somebody else can speak. But go on, Umbra. Go on. Oh, you have to go.
Yeah, I don't know if I gotta go, man.
Okay, don't worry. I'll DM you. Umbra, so that we can have a podcast session and we can plan something. Okay.
Blessings, man. Blessings.
Oh, bro, always a pleasure. Thanks for showing up, man.
Always
Appreciate you.
Always.
All right, bro. Bye. Okay. Mary is Mary there? Umbra is not. Guys, let's keep tapping, please. Housekeeping. Let's keep tapping. Let's get to 50K. Once we get to 50K, I can bring someone else up. But anyway, you want to say something in the meantime? I think OMG is not here. Mary is not here. Or Egodi or Umba, whoever's there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, I was saying this is a very interesting conversation. It's so amazing that we're talking about these things, and I really, again, going back to the point of letting everyone speak, because this guy, I don't want to call his name, but I really learned a lot from that process of him just
Umbra.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not Umbra, what's the guy?
Popular.
Popular. Yes, I
Oh yeah,
learned a lot.
you let them talk enough, they'll show you their ass.
Yeah, because I was always trying to understand what exactly is the problem, and I saw a lot from that. I think everyone else saw a lot from that as well. But yeah, this conversation that we're having about decolonization of the African, it cuts across, it goes, it's a collective perspective. It's not just about religion, because I think the last guy speaking from South Africa basically connects it to how it's related to everything, to our freedom, to our liberation, to our society as a whole, and the fact that we're still tied to these colonial structures that we all need to unlearn. I think it's a very interesting conversation, and I look forward to having this on a YouTube where I can go back and listen to, because today's conversation is literally something I would go back and listen to and while I'm cleaning my house or something like that. It's so amazing. Thank you for doing this.
No, it's
And yeah,
nice.
I'm
It's
still
nice.
here. Let's get 50K likes, guys.
Yeah,
Tap
guys,
tap
50K
tap.
likes, 50K likes, and
Ah.
I'll bring people up. Who wants to go? Who wants to go next?
Okay.
Yeah, go
Umbra was saying something, and it's like, Kingsley, you have a knowledge of that. Like I heard you said something close to that. think I have a shallow knowledge of that, and I've been trying to get a deep information about what was the status of matriarchy in Africa
on. Yeah.
before colonization and before religion came. I want to have a deep knowledge about that. I'm shallow. I'm still shallow about that. I think you
I
have
don't
a
have deep knowledge. I don't have deep knowledge. Maybe Becca does, but I will
Umbra.
tell you, in the south of Nigeria, women were very powerful. Don't get it twisted.
Okay, okay,
Very powerful.
okay.
Like the market women, for example, the market women. Eh? But anyway, I'll try and do some research. But keep talking and go there.
I'm
Or
still
maybe
researching because I'm still
Jonathan,
researching.
let her finish. Jonathan,
I met
Jonathan,
somebody.
please let her finish.
I'm living in Lagos. I'm living in Lagos now, but I'm an Igbo woman. I'm living in Lagos now, but I lived in Asaba. And while I was living in Asaba, I met a man, not even a woman. I met a man that told me, I think that he was the first person I heard the real, as in, how do I put it now? I got that information of what matriarchy was like before colonization, before the colonial master, and before religion came. And that was how he pointed out. He cited that something for me. There's a place in Asaba they call Nebisu Road. It was like, do you know how that name Nebisu came to be? I said no. He said that religion and what they teach us in school, social studies and all that, has always made us understand that the man is the head of the family and all that. But do I know that in the old matriarchy that it was not like that? That's why that's in Nebisi. He said I should come another day, because we had a very long conversation before we delved into that. He said I should come another day. He will tell me how Nebisi came to be. But unfortunately, I came back and he was no more. It pained me. Oh, that was how I lost that source of information. So since then, I've been looking for, not just I don't want online whatever. I want a human being that has either a deep orientation or a deep information about what matriarchy was like in the past. I think Umbra is deep in that. Next time you will bring him out, I think if we can spark up that topic, I would like him to talk extensively about that
No
particular.
problem. No problem. Can I at least give my take on that? I at least know a bit.
Absolutely. Yes. Please
Okay.
go on, Jonathan. Go on.
So check this out. Do you know how like ancient, especially our people go so deep into what makes the human race, that the fact that it's hidden, I feel like it's a crime. On my perspective, I feel like the biggest crime on earth is the crime of information. The fact that we don't know who we are and it's
Yeah.
hidden in plain sight. That is the biggest crime that you can ever do to a people. And that's why I'm going to stand on that. Our people created, for example, like the Moors, we talk about the Moors, the Aztecs. Our people created was so civilized. When we talk about how we're just talking about 2,000, 5,000 years ago, we're talking about like our modern time where people were wearing, animal clothing. You know that the Egyptians wore stuff that was from the south, from Botswana in South Africa. That's why if you see in these Egyptian pyramids, they have, the leopard print. It's native for the south. It just shows the connectivity that we had. And then there are civilizations that are even prior to that, civilizations in which we had castles, the castles that you see in Zimbabwe, the castles that you see that stretch out going to Ethiopia, like ancient castles that are replicas of what they have in Europe. Like the modern day castles that they have in Europe is just a replica of what was built in the ancient civilizations of Africa. So it just shows like our people is very ancient, and it's a crime that we don't that this type of information is not given, because it can change someone's life if someone knew how ancient they were on this earth. They knew their purpose. It would even give you a purpose to live. It would make you feel like, damn, man, we actually did so many great things, and the fact that it's not even given to us, that's like a mission. In a way, I kind of feel like every melanated person is kind of who's in this modern day terms, like kind of on a mission, because we don't have information about who we are. We're literally the only race. Not, no, I appreciate that the races. I'm not like a racist type of person. I'm just saying we African people, we're on a mission. On top of being hidden on information, we're being extorted, we're being lied to. There's miseducation, there's mis healthcare. Nah, guys. This thing is it's deep,
Yeah.
and people need to know, man.
Absolutely. I wanted to speak to the matriarchal to an extent. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Appreciate you. I wanted to speak about the matriarchal involvement in Africa. I think you still wanted to do so.
Y- Yes, I was going to say that again, it goes back to Africans not knowing their history and the role of what a woman was to society, to family in the African structure before religion came, before they brought colonization to destroy that structure and then turn around and tell us that our women were oppressed, whereas in the African society, in our history, if you read, there's a lot of research papers on this. There's a lot of, and I think it's also a history that if you go to villages and meet old women, especially in like the local community structure, you speak to elderly people there, like what Ego was saying, they are usually the one that pass on this history. Fine, we have a problem of our histories not being documented. We always the culture of history telling in Africa is oral history where it passes from generation to generation. But the problem with that is information's getting missing in the beginning. Now, in the Nigerian context, this history in its oral form and even in its written form is very rich in the eastern Nigeria. And when I was studying briefly about this issue, because I was also very interested when when I was growing up, and I basically rejected this idea of feminism because I just didn't feel like from the history my grandmother used to tell me that it applied to me because I never saw myself even as a woman as being oppressed. So I didn't understand, the Western women trying to force me to accept that my men oppressed me because that wasn't my reality. So that basically pushed me into learning, and I used to listen to a lot of old women, and I know that this history, like if you go to universities in Eastern Nigeria, in the African culture department, you would usually find there's a lot of literature on this. The first premise of this, as I remember it, is that, in the African culture, a woman's body is seen as the creation of life. So a woman's body is extremely powerful, and that's why, like in the Igbo culture, if something is completely like if the Igbo women, if there's a grievous crime that has been committed, it's something that I still practice till today. Women will protest naked, and the significance of that was that a woman's body was sacred because she's the beginning, she's the creator of, like she's the beginning of earth, and in the historical links to that. is that actually, if there is a God in this context, God was a woman. God was, let there be life, and there was life. It started from that, and so that's why, like in the history of in Western feminism, it teaches us, or it tries to impose this colonial, not colonial, but this Western foreign women empowerment on us, forcing us to accept something that was never our reality. Because actually, in our reality, women were very powerful. They were rulers of kingdoms. They were rulers of family, and men were just there to go and hunt and bring. Women made all this. There's a whole structure that I think every African who claims to be a feminist, who's always talking about oppression. I'm not saying oppression doesn't exist now, but I'm saying that oppression was something that religion and colonization brought to us, dismantled
Bruh.
our structures, and turned around and told us that we are oppressed. But that's not our culture. So I think this is something that we need to really look into. This is why, like in the Nigerian culture, there's a colleague I have who's been to Nigeria a lot, and one of the things she's Italian. One of the things she said to me about the Nigerian culture that really shocked her was when she just started coming to Nigeria, she used to cover her. She's dressed so differently. After 2 times, she started to dress how I dress. Now, anybody who knows how hot Nigeria, especially Lagos, during some certain time, people are literally almost naked. So one time she turned around, she said to me, the way people dress here is not what I expected. Because in the West, we're told that, men rape women, but look at the way people are dressed here according to the word. And I was like, exactly. In our history, a woman's body is, I'm not saying men don't rape women, but in our history, a woman's body is something that is sacred. It's not a caricature for people to touch. It was never sexualized, and that's why, like, you still find in the European context where African women are dancing, they see it as sexual. We see it as dance, and both men and women do it. So there's a lot of things that we need to learn about our culture and how women were seen and still seen in certain cultures that I've held today. I'll stop there for now.
Fantastic. Thank you. Mba, are you there? Mba, Mary, are you there? Hi. Strategy wins all. Are you there?
Sorry, I want to say something.
Let's see if the new people, let's let them make their point at least. Then I'll come back to you, Egoli. Strategy, Mary, Mba. Okay. Go on, Egodi. Egodi, go on.
I'm trying to mute my mic. Okay.
No, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. First
Thank you
of
so
all,
much, baby to love. Thank you so, baby love. Thank you so much. Go on,
yeah,
Egodi.
I know, Becca, man, you are good. Everything you said, you're very, very right. I think I need to connect with you. We need to speak extensively on that topic you dwelt on. Then what I want to say is, I think the major problem we have as African is identity crisis. They took our history from us. If you check at the curriculum of our education system, they say we are doing history, but the history we are doing is not our history. The history they teach us in school is not our history. It's still the history of the colonial masters, where they tell you Lord Lugard founded this. What's the name of this one that founded this one? The history they teach us in school is not our history. And that brings me to the question of, do we have to continue sitting and watching this lingering? Is there nothing we can do about it to bring back our history back into the education system, where we start teaching the upcoming generation, our children, the true history, who we are? Because if we start teaching that, I think the identity crisis an average African is having will reduce. Because while all these things we are talking about, the matriarchy, people defending other people's religion, like what that guy displayed here, and all this, it boils down to identity crisis. But if we start with teaching the proper African history in the education system, I think we are going to curtail it a great deal, and people will start knowing who we are. We start discovering what we can do and achieving many things we can achieve as a people. That's my contribution for now. I might still say something before I go to sleep
And
because it's pretty
No,
late
no
here.
worries. No worries.
I
Go on, no, go on.
yeah, I was going to say I think that the way that the thing is our system, we're still highly colonized, and like somebody was saying earlier that the Western society controls information. And I really don't see a way, a practical way, at least for now, on how we can decolonize our education. But what I see is one of like every time somebody tells me, or every time I'm in a community and they tell an oral history which is passed down, one of the things that immediately comes to my mind is I wish someone could put this in a book and just share it to this community. Let children have access to read this history. That this old man, there was a time I was in Lagos in this very old community, and this old man who was like 90 something years old was telling us the history of the Egun people and their historical links to Lagos, and how Lagos is really it's a very complicated subject, but basically a very rich history that dates back to 1600. And I was so wowed by, he tells the story of how his grandfather told his father, then his father told him, and now all the children in his compound know. And then I thought to myself, I wish Africans saw the creation of our history as important. Let somebody come and fund this kind of thing to be put in a material that will outlive this man. If this man died or something was to happen in this community and this history gets lost. So I think one of the practical things that we can do, if you're interested in feminism, in matriarchy, whatever you're interested in, go and people are like Umbra was saying, somebody's leaving America to come and study Ifa in Osun State, but then, if you look for books on Ifa, you will not find it. So I think it's going to get to a point where us as Africans, even if you're not a writer, you have to curate and find a way to document these histories, put it in local libraries, distribute it, have a copy, give to your children, teach your children. Because again, the people who came to colonize you to tell you there's something wrong with your culture and history and your religion are not going to wake up one day and say, oh, now let's put your real history in your colonial in your educational system, because it doesn't benefit them. It contradicts everything that they've perpetuated for thousands of years. I'll stop there for now.
Yeah. Um, I think Mba slept off. uh, but this has been fun, man. This has been fun. This has been fun. Educational for sure. Um, but yeah, Egoli, thank you so much. I really enjoy that you are, practicing the original religion of our people. I love that. I am not religious. I walked away from religion a while back, and yeah, I'm on my journey. I'm on my journey. Definitely, I do not subscribe to it's foreign religions because I couldn't align myself as Kingsley and to like try to now see, okay, why do I need to bow down and kiss the feet of of this person to grant me salvation? The fuck, come on, man. I can't do that. I can't do that. I couldn't merge it, and I was like, you know what, I'll just do that. Exactly. I know. I'm even next this at some point this year because I need to get my German up and running. But I'm gonna get my BBO. I want to get back into like learning about my culture, my deities,
No, you need.
our chiefs.
That was the first thing. When I transitioned in 2022, I was the first. I didn't want to be shallow. I went deep. Others were going in for money. Not that I detest money. I love money, but I wanted to be grounded. I wanted to know exactly what I'm going into. And it was when I started delving into it, going deeper, that I started understanding what the colonial masters saw that made them to come for us. That we are, oh God, we are resourceful. We have, God, we are blessed. Let me use that word. We are blessed. And that was what they saw. And they knew that the only way to conquer us is entering our heads,
That's
playing
it.
the mind game with us. And they succeeded. With up till today, they are at war with us. But it's not a physical war. It's an intellectual war. And they have been succeeding for 400 years now. Man, when I found out some deep truths about everything, I started asking questions. People were teaching me and all that. Sometimes I will weep. The thing will becloud my sense of reasoning. I will be crying for Africa, especially Nigeria.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm getting over it now. At least I'm adjusting because there's how you will delve into all this and you see the mistakes, the betrayals, you see what the mistakes that were done by our forefathers. It can break you down emotionally, seriously. And these were the things I went through before I became grounded and all that. But I know the
Kingsley,
truth.
you
Nobody can
you
tell
know
me.
Kingsley, one of the things I think you should do the next time you go to London is go to the British Library. There's a section where you have there's some open letters that this colonial administration and the missionaries were writing back to the Queen. I have a friend a couple of years ago, I think 2021, he did this documentary about it and he has copies. Like
Yeah.
whenever I can find him in Lagos, I still want to have a physical copy because I can make photocopies. You have to read these things. Like once you read the way they were writing about us, and you will never be the same. Like once you read it, you cannot remove that information from your mind. It just changes how you see foreign religion in the African context. You know, it's something I wish I had a copy when I first saw it because he showed it to me. I
Please, I would
glanced
love to
through it
have a
like,
copy. So,
yeah, but there's a documentary on Netflix, and I need to ask him. There's a documentary. I don't know. I think Netflix puts this thing on for a period of time. I think it
Yeah.
expired, but he said they were going to bring it back. You need to watch it. But even in that documentary, he reads the
I
letters.
really need to
It's
see
good
it.
for you. Whenever you go to the British Library, go and ask for it. I think usually you have to apply. They will give you. You can ask for a letter that this person wrote to that person. But basically, they documented the whole process of our humiliation. Even there's a part where they said there's a history that they teach us in school in Nigeria that this woman Mary Slessor stopped the killing of twins. It's a lie. It's a lie. There was no time that that was happening.
Hmm.
The Yoruba culture, the Yoruba people in the Osun State people, they have the highest rates of twins in the world. It traces
Yeah.
back to the food that they eat, the
The
fact that they
lies
eat
they
pounded yam.
sold. That was the
There,
lie they
there was
sold to
no,
us so that they can capture
yes,
us.
that she came to save us and she stopped the killing of twins. How can you stop the killing of something that was normalized in a culture by the people? The people who were eating yam, that's why they
Do you
procreate a
mind
lot.
about
This was some,
Egoli.
Germany
Egoli.
killed people with children with red hair for decades.
Yeah.
And they're not crucifying Germany, but they know how to crucify Africa. That's why if any Christian
but
comes at me about killing of twins, I'll refer you to your slave master. Go and fight Germany first for killing children with red hair. Go fight them
that's
first.
even a
Then you
lie. That was a lie. That was not true. There's no way the Ocean State people who were eating yam so that they can have this multiple life birth, which they still have to today, were now
no,
turning around and killing the
their
multiple life.
ancestors can be forgiven for making mistakes in the past, but my ancestors are not to be forgiven. Anyway, Sha, I know what I know and I'm sticking to what I know. That's the one. You asked me a question. Sorry, Becca, you asked me a question. How
Yeah,
did I do?
yeah, I was going to say like what was like how did you start? Because the thing is, I personally like recently I was talking to somebody in Akwa Ibom State and who's also like a tradition not traditional but also trying to he has
Hmm.
left Christianity and is now trying to and he was telling me that actually all cultures have their gods, so we have our own. And since I'm an Ibibio person, I don't want to look for Igbo god or Hausa god or any
Yeah,
god.
I get no,
I want my
you
own god. And he was
stick to
telling me
your
that there's
roots. Yeah.
like in the Ibibio culture, there's
Yeah.
there's the
That's what I
yin
admire.
and yang. There's something he called it in the yeah. So how did you start? Like where did you start from in
Okay,
your
first
in
of
your
all,
work? That's what I was going to
First of
ask.
all, when I was saying something previously, I told you that at some point I started having a mental breakdown because of the truth. There's a truth or depth of what you will delve into. You will be overwhelmed. You get. So when I was a Christian, deep-rooted Christian, oh man, tongue-speaking Christian. But at some point, I don't know, I started having this incessant dream of my grandmother I did not meet. That's the Egodi you are seeing on my wall is my business name. That's not my name. My name is Chichi. So the woman, she died 10 years before I was born. Okay, you said your network. Can you hear me now?
All good, all good.
I'm talking. Becca is like Becca is struggling with her network. Becca,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
it's showing red on my screen.
Okay, let me wait for her to come up.
Becca, can you hear us?
I think she's maybe I don't know her network. She wrote something in
No,
the comments.
she can't hear you.
I can see that she wrote something in the comment section.
She
Can't
says she
hear her.
cannot hear.
Can you turn off your maybe turn off your data, then on it back, and you call you it will fix you back.
Or she can drop and call back in. That always works. Becca, maybe drop and call back in.
Because I need her to hear what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, she just dropped. Maybe she'll call back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's her.
Okay. Welcome back.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
the dream started in 2021 actually, ending 2021. I started seeing this my grandmother. I didn't know her. I didn't meet her. She died 10 years before I was born, but my dad is a very good storyteller. Most of the things I know now, my daddy started telling me as a child. So my daddy is this good, as in he's very good that when he tells you a story, he will create a mental picture in your head. So the way he painted that his mother to us, especially me, even without seeing my grandmother's pictures, I knew what she looks like. So when I started seeing her in the dream, I recognized that this is the woman my dad had been telling me about. So she started visiting me in the dream, telling me that I should be wrapping up my journey with Christians. And you can imagine when you're a tongue speaking Christian and you're having that kind of dream, you will start thinking you are possessed or one familiar spirit is trying to attack you or make you come off the Christianity rather and all that. I continued like that till I entered 2022. Then something happened to me in 2022, February 3rd to be precise. Before that February 3rd, I was sick for like a week. But normally, if I'm sick, if I take the normal medication, I'll be fine. But I was taking the medication and I was very sick. And that sickness is what you can call sickness unto death. I saw myself that I was dying. And I was living alone in Asaba. So one evening, I called my mom. My mom said I should start coming home, that the way I'm sounding, let nothing happen to me. I took my shower. I was just trying to rub my cream. I don't know how that force came and swept me off my feet. I hit my head on my dressing mirror. The last thing I can remember is that I saw that I was bleeding from my nose and I was bleeding from my mouth. And I passed out. That day is on a Wednesday. That thing happened on a Wednesday evening. I didn't know what happened, but I know I woke up on Friday morning. I woke up around 10 minutes after 5 on Friday morning. That means I was on that floor for more than 48 hours, or almost 48 hours. Because when I woke up, all the bloods, the ones that came from my mouth and my nose, were all black. They were no longer red. But there are things that happened. Let me call it a trance. I won't say I died. I won't say that I died. I think I will call it a trance. It was in that trance that this woman took me around. Many questions that I've been asking as a child, because even as a Christian, there are many things I'll read in the Bible. I'll be asking questions. Why is it like this? Why that this? They say I should not ask, just follow sheepishly. So it was in that trance that she taught me a whole lot of things. She answered a lot of questions. And when she was bringing me back that Friday morning, she told me, the last thing she told me is, I hope you know you're not going back to the church. Your time with the church has expired. You are going back to your root. You are going to start from where I stopped. That was the last thing she told me, and she brought me back. And I woke up. I struggled and pressed my phone, and it was 10 minutes past 5 in the morning. And that was how I started having series of attacks, because I came out and I refused to accept so many things she told me because I was a Christian. Long story short, something happened. I started noticing that I was having two personalities. It's as if the second person inside me is about to jump out. I can step out of my house and I see that it's like I'm two. And the second me is trying to jump out of me. I, I was feeling, it was as if I was going mad. That was when she visited me again and said, I told you to stop going to church. There's somebody I told you to go and meet. You say you are not going. If you go mad, don't hold me responsible. That was the day I went to look for the man she had been telling me in the dream to come meet. When I got to the man's place, the man is from my village. When I got to his house, they told me he died like a week ago. Ha! And had it been I came since my grandmother had been telling me, I would have met him alive. But when I came, his son that took over him was the person I met. I told him what my grandmother said and all that. He said he was little when my grandmother died and all that. That was how they picked me up, started putting me through, started taking me through as in, it's like an initiation. That was how they started taking me through the basics and everything and all that. But aside what they took me through, is one thing to be educated and going back to your root. Most people, I'm not trying to downgrade anybody, but most people that are not educated that went back to the root, that are traditionalists, sorry to say it, they're the people constituting nuisance there. When you're educated and you are going back to your root, there is this knowledge you are going back with, and your orientation and everything will be different from theirs. So when they finished the initiation and everything, I said, okay, fine. I was a Pentecostal for 20 years. I'm coming back to my root, but I'm not coming back just because of the money. I want to get some information. I want to get rooted. I need to ask questions. That was how I started moving from village to village, as in village inside my town, looking for old women, old men that will tell me our history. I buy things for them. I will spend hours for them. They will be telling me histories of things that happened in the past. That was how, step by step, I started growing. They tell me things to do. That was even when I saw that I have affiliation with the water and all that. And that's how far my journey has been. There are some things I cannot say live here, one-on-one, there are so many things I'll tell you that I cannot say live here. But I believe that little I explained that you understand.
Yeah, I definitely understand it. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing your
welcome.
story. And because I personally I believe that God exists. I think like the God is relatable to the people that they expect, and He exists in every culture. So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that. I'm very interested in also finding my own way to access God, because since I left the church, I have basically
We'll
stayed
speak
away
one on
from
one. If we speak one on one,
definitely.
there are some things I'll tell you. I'll help put you through that. You will do it. You will do the things on your own. You get, these are things you
Yeah,
can do on your own. And since you are
yeah,
interested, the spirit sees our heart. Oh. If you are interested and you really want to connect, there are things I'll tell you to do that you do on your own. This spirit will come. The spirit of your father's house, your paternal house, they will come and meet you. They came to meet me, and many people around me that transitioned too. They tell me they have the same encounter. They might be similar, they might not be exactly the same as mine, but something similar. So I'll help you. I'll tell
yeah,
you some things to do. The people you will ask questions in your community. uh These spirits will
yeah,
come to you. They'll start ministering. You will be hearing it. You'll be, even in dreams. They can minister to you through the dreams. You'll be seeing things. When you start getting connected, you will notice. You will know. You know that something is happening to you. You will know.
Yeah,
But the
thank you
truth
so
is,
much. Thank you,
it's
Queen.
like a wave. When the wave takes over you, you see how you will detest Christianity.
Yeah.
You see how you will
Fantastic.
detest, no matter how you are
Yeah, yeah,
grounded. That's
yeah,
why when I look at people that are still in the church and the other religions, I have hope. The wave have
yeah.
not reached their side. When the wave gets to them, they can't stand it.
No,
If
that's
the,
good to listen
if
to.
the
No, no.
wave, if the wave gets to them, majority of them will not stand. That's why. Do you know? If you see how afraid I am for all these pastors that have been deceiving people for decades, huh? By the time the wave will get high, let me not say more than this, but it won't be funny. The way they destroy shrines, it's going to be the other way around. It's well, it's well, it's well.
Yeah.
Okay, 2020. Okay,
No,
good.
no, it's happening. A lot of people in the community. And no, honestly, I do feed into your optimism. People are Africa is waking up.
Ah,
Africans are
we are
Africans are waking up. Like for real. If this is jokes aside, I mean, almost every single time on TikTok, I see like regular Africans on in Nigeria particularly. There's a guy in Ghana. I think his name is Official Survivor in Ghana. Like it's happening. There's a lot of critical thinking Africans in Nigeria right now, like making points, challenging the people,
My
bringing people like.
grandmother told me he's
Let,
one of the
let me land. Let me land,
okay,
please.
sorry, sorry.
Thank you. Like they are making content regarding this is why this is bad, and people are listening. People are actually listening, and they're like, oh, huh, okay, I see what you mean. And in fact, if I compare social media, if I compare Nigeria and the atmosphere 5 years ago and the Nigeria today, people are the fact that this is even a conversation and people are actually tuning in to listen
That
and
we are waking
receiving
up.
from it.
Yeah.
It's a massive sign, So people are waking up for sure.
So we are
Yeah,
waking up.
yeah, absolutely. I would.
Told me one of the questions my grandmother answered during that trance, because as at that 2022, at that 2020, it was the wave was not as high as this. It was still shallow and there. My grandmother told me that I should sit and watch that from that 2022 till the next 5 years, that I'll see how high the wave will go. That people will transition the way I transition. That when the gets to them, they can't stand it. They won't know what happened to them. It will be like a deliverance, as it will just you will sleep and wake up and you find out that you are not the same person that slept last night. You are a total different person. And if they are now teaching you, you will be understanding. The orientation will be different. So when I see all these people making noise about their religion, defending their God, I'll just laugh. I know that the wave have not gotten to them. When it start getting to them, they can't stand it. Mother Africa have woken up. She will reclaim all. Her children was taken away from her for decades, for centuries. She's going to recover all. She will recover all. None will be left. So there's hope for Africa. There's hope. It's just that it's going to take time. There's hope for us.
Absolutely. No, no, no. I agree. I agree. Fantastic, guys. I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a day here.
We really
It's
tried. This is past 12 here. I didn't
I know,
remember.
right? Say that's
Yeah.
that. No, no. Our conversations are very interesting and exciting. I actually, anytime I go live, I always learn something, and I'm so happy to know that Egoli is practicing our culture, and I love it. It's so encouraging, and keep it. I think we need more. Thank you so much, Becca. As always a pleasure to have you on, man. It's always fun. Always insightful. For the people that like, share, comment, engage, thank you again. Listen, man, and like Jonathan, is it the guy that was I forget his name, but the guy from Congo. Listen, it's not your job to be so tolerant to everybody, especially to the African. Look, man, people will learn if they want to learn something, they will learn it. You understand? It's not your job to play educator all the time. It's very important. You need to let people. How do I put it? You need to learn to let people. Let them show themselves, I guess. But also ultimately, when somebody shows you, oh shit, what's that? It's a star. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ni Atukwe. Thank you so much. It is very important for us to defend who we are. Don't be ashamed of your culture. I mean, I am always wearing. I don't know if you guys see these bracelets. Do you guys see? Do you see a goalie? You see my bracelets? You see them? And I always have the African.
I'm not talking. They're beautiful. I have some.
I always have my African jewelry on me any day, anytime. I might be in suit because this is a representation to me of my culture. I bought it like I'm like, I love it. It's who I am. It's mine. Even if it's chaotic, and I said this to people, yeah, Nigeria, for example, Nigeria is chaotic, man. Who doesn't know that? Nigeria has a lot of issues to fix, but it's mine. It's mine. You understand? It's my shit. It's my own. Just like my culture, my tradition. Yeah, it may not be this, it may not be what you like. I don't care, but it's mine, and I love it that way. I own it. I think for me, another reason why I rather do African spirituality on my own people, my own tribe, my own culture is because I own it. It's my own, and things that belongs to me, things that I own, it's mine. It's my own. The God that is customized for my people knows my struggle. For me, I think that's something that's very important to me with religion. It's like I don't want to follow a religion that is mass market. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want a mass market religion. Like, dude, no. I want a God that is customized and peculiar to me and my roots.
Exactly.
Because that God understands me, understands my peculiarities.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to me, that's important, man. You understand? Yeah, for me, hey, Dapo. By the way, maybe even Eno, I'll let you guys know. Even Igoli, in case you're into political conversations, Dapo, I'm planning on I'm planning on hosting a live, but it's going to be very focused on Nigeria, Dapo, on like which way. That's going to be the title of the live, like which way Nigeria. I want to bring Nigerians from different parts of the country. Dapo is from I don't know Dapo, are you from Lagos State, or I think you told me Dapo is from Southwest Nigeria anyway. And I have both from Akwa Ibom State, so Niger Delta. Egoli, Igbo, you said southeast. Okay,
Yes,
and Usman is from the north. Kenya is from the north. Umbra is from River State. Yeah, so because this year I want to focus on Nigeria, right? This year I really, 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 really want to use my platform to get, because I think when it comes to the context of Nigeria politically, there is a big gap, and the big gap is we don't have average Nigerians like us concerned and invested in the politicking of Nigeria. And this,
I get.
yeah, and this has enabled politicians to get away with everything. But the more we get more Nigerians like Egoli, like Eno, like myself, either you're in diaspora or home, start talking about politics, start getting, like, it's not even about tribe anymore. It's like, dude, let us move this country forward. You understand? It's not about APC or PDP. I could care less about party. I don't do party politics. I care about politics that moves things forward. Like the more we get more Nigerians involved in the politics conversation, the more we get more Nigerians asking questions, demanding for better. Just to start that conversation, I can guarantee you things are going to start changing in that country. Because I know, what a lot of Nigerian politicians benefit from now is that a lot of Nigerians not that we don't care, we've lost hope. You know what I mean? Like we've lost hope in politics. We're like, nothing is going to change anyway. So who cares? And as a result, no, I'll come to you. Let me make my point. You understand? Like a lot of politicians, they've become very comfortable with that. That, hey, listen, the people don't care anyway, so we can get away with it. And they are right. But the more we get more Nigerians acting, like, dude, wait, what about the roads you're supposed to build? Should Nigeria stay together? Should we regionalize? Imagine if 5 million Nigerians, guys, there's 250 million, 300 million roughly. If 5 million, just 5 million Nigerians, regardless of where they come from, if 5 million Nigerians start talking about things that are peculiar to that country, I swear it will create even 1 million,
Yeah.
even 500,000. But if we start talking and asking questions online, bro, it will bleed into, I kid you, it will bleed. And once it starts gaining momentum, things will just, it will take a life of its own. But it needs to get started. And hopefully my platform can at least, at the very least, create a small push. I'm not saying it's going to start with me. I don't care. I don't care about ego stuff. But I want to, if I can start the push, I don't mind. But that's something we as Nigerians can do. We have to stop. I think also a lot of Nigerians expect the solution to be something big and sexy. No, it starts on. In fact, in my opinion, the future of Nigeria the call for better starts on social media. It starts on social media, in my opinion, because that's something everybody has access to. Not everybody has access to the governor's house. Not everybody has access to senator. But guess what? Everybody has access to, whether you're in Nigeria, bro. Social media, bro. So how can we use this access?
Something on social media and the governor will see it. So you're right.
Yeah. So how do we use this access to now channel that noise? You understand what I mean, Egoli? No, that's the plan for 2025. What do you think, Egoli?
You're right. It's a good move. I'm in. I'm in. Who is still here?
No.
Like,
I'm getting my morning, my night stick before I pass out. So I need to. I like to sleep on it. Yeah.
okay. Becca is back. She was out before.
Yeah. That was saying, are you going to run for? I don't say. The thing is, I don't know if I want to join politics directly, but I know we'll say yes.
I'm actually a politician, but I can do politics extensively.
I think, to me, I think change can be made in Nigeria through media. In my own way, I don't know what you guys think.
Compromise. That's why I said it's an intellectual thing. If the orientation change, they can be compromised. Once the orientation is still the same.
Not really.
Becca, what did you say? Sorry.
Not really. I said not really.
Okay, why?
Real change happens only in politics. In secondary change through. Sorry, let me leave the room. I'm disturbing my husband.
No, say it now. I want to learn. I want to hear. And I'm sure.
No, she will say she will say she's with her husband. It's night, so she needs to go to another room so that she can speak.
Yeah, I was saying, let me leave the room. I was disturbing my husband.
Okay,
I was saying secondary change. Secondary change is not possible. Change is not possible from a secondary perspective in a society that is completely the decadence of corruption and endemic poverty and inequality. We've had it for decades. Like no Nigerian, even our parents didn't know a good Nigeria. Our parents didn't know a functional Nigeria. So that just shows you that we don't even have a blueprint. It means that these conversations that we're having needs to be translated, and I'm sorry for that to happen. You have to join politics. Like it's not going to you can talk about these issues on social media, but if you want to see change, which you as an individual with your support system can do, you join politics. And how do you join politics? You start your grassroots level, whatever you're doing,
like
you
what
get
that was said.
yourself involved in the national you get yourself into the National Assembly representing your local government. You are there for 8 years, Kingsley. If you mean well for your people, you will do the things that you're supposed to do and more. Guess what? 8 years will pass. If you do what you're supposed to do, you will create a new generation of young people in a space of 10. And sometimes you can run for more if it's a National Assembly. You will create a system if your job is to provide water, fix primary schools, those things will work. Now, think about it in the 10 years. Some people are there for, I've known senators that have been in the National Assembly
Oh, it's
or
a
House of
career.
Reps
It's a career for them.
for over 12
Yeah.
years. They're still there
Oh yeah.
because they have a way of keeping themselves safe. So imagine what those kind of people could have achieved if they were actually doing something. There's a lot of things that the local government is in charge of. There's a lot of things that National Assembly and even representatives at the federal level are in charge of that they don't do. So imagine if those, because our problem is we look at the presidency as the primary thing, but the real change that we need to reduce local government is in charge of primary school for God's sake. So
Yes.
imagine if the local government worked. Imagine the amount of people that will go to school. Imagine if your local government thinks they had a local government chairman like you who can go to the UNICEF and say, listen, I want to do this polio vaccination thing for 10 years and see how it goes. They will easily give you money, especially if they see that you will do something. So, as nice as being a private sector change influencer, talking on social media, real change only happens in our local government. And finally, the reason why many of our local level politicians are not functional is because we don't have a blueprint, number one. And I can't even think of anyone who's doing anything at that level. Everyone
Look
goes
at
to the
that.
National Assembly to collect that. I think it's
With
150
money.
million naira per month. Can you imagine? They collect it
Exactly.
for their constituency and they see it as their money. So imagine what you could do. And the thing is, I'm no longer delusional to think that politicians will not steal. But imagine if you collected that kind of allocation every month and you spend just 60%. Say, I will not
Bro,
steal 60%.
stealing
I
is
will
normal.
put it
Everybody
in what
steals.
I'm
Even
supposed
in
to do.
Switzerland.
You
Even
will
in
do so
Switzerland, you know, they
much.
still.
That's what
They're
Nigeria
still
is.
here too.
Yeah.
They still.
Even here in Germany, if I tell you some of the things that are happening here, you won't believe it. But yeah.
They still. They still.
So
Okay.
yeah, real change
All right.
happens in you have to
No
join
worries.
politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess TikTok could be considered part of the work I do for my people. Then maybe later I go to Akwa Ibom State. Hey, my people,
Yeah, I
oh.
don't believe in don't
That
steal.
was
I don't
said,
know if don't
no,
steal
they
is
don't
possible, but
steal. I
even the people
disagree.
that call it
Please help
democracy
me
is
and
good.
ask
Wait,
that
wait,
one.
wait.
I just believe
Ekoli,
in
Ekoli, wait. What you say, no? Sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay.
Eno, oh, Eno was saying something. I didn't hear you, Eno. Sorry.
It's
I
like
think
it
my net.
has to do with she has to attend to something because her might is mute.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Please go again. Yeah, I was saying that all politicians steal. I'm not even looking for a saint at this point. I'm not looking for
Yeah.
somebody who would, if you join that kind of structure that you would spend, like you would just earn your humble salary of 10 million a month and be in peace. We're not even saying don't steal. We're just saying steal but with a conscience. If you have 100 million to do a project, do the project. Even if you do
Yeah.
it at a reduced rate, get Chinese people to build roads, to do the water pump, but don't collect that money. So they get so much money and they do nothing. Nigeria is so destroyed that a child, when we were in school, we used to know layers, I don't know what they call them now, but arms of government and their responsibility. Today in Nigeria, you cannot get a primary school kid to tell you what these things are because it's intentional that if we do not know, we cannot hold them accountable. Most of us don't know who is in charge of what. Everybody talks about the local and the presidency, not knowing that who your local government chairman is very important, your governor is
Yeah.
very important, your
More
house of
important
reps
than the
are
president.
very good. Those are the people that are supposed to do projects and tell us,
Yeah.
what's Tinubu's business with you and you don't have water in your village? What's his business with you?
No,
Yeah.
you
What's
have
your
a local
Tinubu's
government
business with
chairman.
classrooms in your constituencies are leaking? Teachers are not paid salary. He knows nothing about that. But most of us don't know that. That's why we only look at that central power structure when in the grand scheme of things, those things are irrelevant. So we need to get more people at grassroots level politics because if we have enough people that are trying, it will also encourage people to elect people that are trying for them. But Nigeria, we have not had a history of that. We have
Yeah.
not had a history of any public. I think the last public official I could be proud of was the last Senate president we had, Bukola Saraki. After that, we've not had anybody. There's nobody who can. They're all criminals. Very recklessly stealing and not caring a dime about their people.
Yeah.
So what?
I would say to that
Yeah,
point,
I don't know.
and maybe after this
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to go, is that you're right. I think at the end of the day, do I see myself in politics? Sometimes I
Gosh,
do.
Berlin internet is so bad.
But then I am like, do I have, can I, my conscience, will my conscience allow me to actually play? And that's the thing, because it's like, yeah, I want to help my people. I want to give value. I want to fight for my people. But it's like, will my conscience allow me to do some dirty things that I'm supposed to do? Because I can play fair. Will the person that's opposing me play fair? That's the answer. The answer to that is no. And sometimes I might have to do dirty things to keep that evil guy away from me. Because don't forget, this is Nigeria. This is not Switzerland politics or German politics. They can be dirty everywhere, but in Nigeria it's dirtier. You understand? Your position might even try and harm
But
me,
you know,
harm my family. So sometimes you have to even be dirty too
but,
to protect yourself. And I'm like, do I really have the energy for that? you know?
but but Kingsley, do you know what I still believe? If you knew about when Fashola was governor of Lagos State, and how, like, I learned a key lesson from how Fashola displaced Tinubu when he was Lagos State governor in his first term. And basically, Fashola, whom Tinubu puts as the godfather, comes in, and of course, you're supposed to be loyal and do whatever that idiot says. Now, Fashola comes in, and Fashola decides to do a little bit more than average. And so, what that meant was he had the people on his side, he had the National Assembly on his side. I don't know if you're aware that Tinubu tried to manipulate his impeachment in his second term. But you know why? That's the history is happening right now in River State. What I'm basically trying to say is if you're in politics and you try a little bit, people will see. Once you have the P, like see what Wike is doing in River State now. The reason why Wike will not be able to defeat that guy, I don't know his name, the current governor of River State, is because first of all, Wike was um Wike was bringing 15 billion every month as revenue from River State. Guess how much the current governor is bringing? 58 billion. You know what that showed the people? That Wiki was stealing your money for 8 years. Naturally, the National
Wow.
Assembly in River State, naturally, the River State people are on his side. Now, because of the way dirty politics works, that would have not been possible. But because his people have now seen, hey, Wiki was so evil to them to be stealing that kind of money, like you're remitting 14 billion, but yet somebody else came and remitted 4 times what you were remitting. That just
Whoa,
showed the
whoa,
people
wait.
to insist.
So so wait, Wike was bringing 15.
No, 14 billion. River State is a very rich state. 14 billion. Now, this guy, I don't know his name, but he's remitting over 50, I think 58 billion
What?
every month. Yes. So now,
That is
if you are the,
insane.
even if, yes, but it shows you also that politics can be only be dirty for so far because once people are like, wow, this guy was cheating us, look at
Yo.
what he was doing to us, he turned everybody against. That's why we can never defeat that guy instead. We can never because people have seen. They're not saying this guy is a saint, but they are just seeing also, A, how wicked was evil to them, B, how he was stealing the whole state's money. So if you are doing the work, the people will be on your side. Once the people are on your side, it will be difficult to defeat you. This guy will do his 8 years, he will go, nothing will happen to him. Guess what? The River State people are behind him. In all the things that Wike is doing, using the federal government to do, the only reason why even Tinubu cannot defeat him is because the River State people have said, we are with you, we are on your side. They won't be able to kill him because his people see Wike now as someone that stole a lot of money, and now he has now told his people, "Me, I will do something. This is how much we have. This is how much we remit to the federal." government every month. We're a rich state. There's no reason why this should be happening. His people will protect him. That's how politics works everywhere, you know. The only way your people can the only people it is difficult to harm people in politics. Usually if people kill their leader or their leader is able to be killed, the people are involved. And usually
Yeah,
that can be
usually,
like
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's only possible if the people feel aggrieved by you, you know. So I still believe that that can happen everywhere. It's just that in Nigeria is not common, but in Nigeria's history that I know, it's happened in Lagos State and now it's happening in River State. It can happen elsewhere, you know. But yeah, you never know. And now they're talking about bringing back good luck Jonathan, even though I know that will not work. But me, I believe more in more younger people, people who can mean well, people who can steal with a conscience, because I think they steal everywhere in politics in the world.
Don't worry, guys. I know, I promise you. I will still, but I'll still with a conscience. I can just imagine it. Imagine it. Oh, Kingsley, you stupid boy.
No, I
I joined
would.
your TikTok lives. You idiot.
Like me, I walk away. You don't want to imagine how many friends I had when Buhari came. I was in Nigeria when Buhari came in his first term. They even wanted to offer me a job. I had so many friends. But after a while, you just start to think, I can't. I can't be. I mean, it is money, but I cannot be seen to be in this part of crowd. Like I cannot be seen to be defending rubbish. You know, the money is nice. You know, those people, many of them, they bought houses in London, they bought houses in New York with all the money they stole in that circle. But the thing is, at what cost?
Why do they take our why do they like to take the money outside Nigeria?
Well, Kingsley, that's what it goes back to what we're saying. The average Nigerian, we're a very young population. Average Nigerian has never known a good government. Their parents have never known a Nigeria that worked, where we had free education we don't even have a blueprint. We have stories
Bruh.
that our grandfather told us of how they went to school in England. And when my grandfather showed me like his first ticket when he was going to school in England, I was like, wow, I can't believe this ever happened in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
And because we don't have that, it's very easy for somebody to come up and say, you Kingsley, you want to join politics. You know, even though you have been doing your grassroots work, the people on your side, somebody comes out and say to you, I'll give you 20 million, just go back to your Switzerland and keep quiet, get out of this place, please, let me steal the money. It's very few Nigerians that can say no because that's the precedence. That's what's been happening. That's the major problem that we have. So sometimes I ask myself, are we as Nigerians so morally bankrupt? I'm sorry to go back to the context of religion, but this still goes back to religion. A religion, a system that was, but I think Umbra was describing this very effectively. But we had a structure that worked. You steal, this happens to you. You do this, they banish you. Like it worked, and nobody had to police anybody. And
Exactly.
that you go from that for them to bring in Christianity and Islam to come and say, oh, you know, the imam can do, the pastor can do, and God will forgive. You know, they are parts of religious texts, colonization religious texts that excuses this kind of behavior, that creates the superiority complex, which you were talking about earlier, where I am a special people, I'm a chosen people of God, I'm a people of Israel, so I can destroy Palestine, nothing will happen because God is on my side. That's what religion did. Now, when they left that structure for us. And that's how our government, like the Nigerian society, I don't know if the religion is a reflection of society or society is a reflection of religion, but that it shows you how it works, where somebody can decide that they are going into office. You are the governor of a state and you are coming out in a church. At the time, actually, this person I'm talking about wasn't a governor, it was a senator. You came out from a church, a big church in Nigeria. This church was raising money for the biggest cathedral that they built. This man came out, was speaking grammar. He said, oh, the platinum envelope is from £1 billion upwards. I said in my mind, nobody's coming out. That's when I just came back to Nigeria. That was my first shock. 5 people came out. Out of the 5 people that came out to donate 1 billion naira upwards, this was 2012.
Our
A
money that they
billion,
stole, they will go and donate it in church.
Yeah.
a
Bullshit.
billion, 1 billion naira upwards. One of the people that came out, whom I could justify, which you can't really justify, was this woman, Mrs. Alakeja. The second one was Gospel Akpabio. And then I like that thing bothered me so much. So I went back home and I wrote Pastor Paul Adefarasi. Now I'm going to call his name, I don't care. I wrote him a letter saying, like, Pastor Paul, are you like, is that Christ like? That first of all, you came out to say that people should come and donate 1 billion naira upwards. That means it could have been more. And then I said, these were the people that came out because I was in the front. I said, and I saw my governor, so now this is my governor's salary. Please, can you explain to me, like I am a child, where my governor is going to get 1 billion naira upwards to
From
give you?
your money,
He
from
didn't
your
answer
pocket.
me. When I went on Twitter and I said the same thing, and he blocked me till today. And so you look at it,
Oh.
you look at a really, yes, Paula Defarance blocked me. You look at it, you look at the religious context that allows things like that to happen, and you expect that your country can work for you. No, in Nigeria, everybody has a price. It's very few Nigerians, Kingsley. Ego, please, can you mute? It's very few
Okay.
Nigerians to me, I test even Nigeria. If I want to be friends with Nigerians, I always test them because me, I like people with integrity. But it's very few Nigerians that don't have a price. Very few Nigerians. A Nigerian, as amazing as we are as a people, we are very morally bankrupt. There's a saying that we say when I was growing up, every Nigerian has a price.
Oh yeah.
Or you just maybe they will not carry drugs because they will arrest them. And Nigerians are smart people. But a Nigerian can come out, make all this noise. Like, you remember when you talked about the charity thing? It almost gave me PTSD because I have done so many things. I have put my name at risk only for it to be something else. And you know, when something goes bad, you can't really say much, A, because of my job, and B, because of who I'm married to. So I just like every Nigerian has a price. So now, if I want to do anything, like during Christmas, somebody came to me, oh, we want to raise money for this community. I said, I will do it on the basis that all the IDPs, I want their ID, I want their registration. I'm not sending money to anybody's account for anybody. Even if it's pennies I'm giving, I want it to go to the person that I want it to go to because I know how our societies work. So, are we as a people, when we talk about changing our countries, are we morally, like in our own individual lives? If someone came to you and said, Rebecca, if we'll give you 2 million so you can bring this person, so we can, okay, maybe killing is a bit extreme, but we can give you this so that you can turn a blind eye while we do this. Most Nigerians will say, yes, do it. Because I'll get 2 million and I'll move to Switzerland and I'll enjoy my life and I won't care that people
Yeah.
in my villages are dying, So
That's not
it's very,
that can be me. And I think that's another thing that really gets me saying maybe I could actually do better in politics. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm rich, but happy New Year, Jennifer. Good to see you. Like for me, Becca, honestly, I've seen wealth. Don't get me wrong, I'm not wealthy myself, but I don't know. I don't see. I've traveled. I mean, I'm in Switzerland. I have access to many countries. This year I'm traveling. So like I don't see what it's like. I don't think I'll be so like whoa, to the point where I'll be so fascinated by money, to the point where I will throw my people under the bus. It's like no. Because again, I see how we are treated abroad. Does that make sense or no? I
yeah,
know what
yeah.
it's like and we are treated abroad. Because I grew up here, I grew up abroad. My mom's a retired diplomat. I know. I know that we don't have any safe haven beyond our borders. So I'm like, why the fuck would I be taking like that? Exactly that. Why would I take my money to New York? Am I dumb? Why would I take my money to Dubai? Am I dumb? So again, that's what maybe that's what I'm like, maybe I'm actually suited for it because don't get me wrong, I like money. But I've seen money. I've traveled. I'm abroad. I've seen it. I know that nobody is our friend. So why would I want to go and empower their economy? I'd rather use that money and build my space because I know that at last we have that's our base. Because again, if you think about it, most of our politicians, let's be real, most of them don't even have our background. If you see what I
That's
mean.
true. That's the
Most
main
of the
problem.
let's be on that's the main problem. Most of our politicians don't have our background in the sense of are they as internationally exposed? I think one of the few Nigerian politicians that had some international exposure was Donald Duke, and he was one of the better governors. Donald Duke. Even till today, people are still calling Donald Duke. This
Okay.
is like decades because he was one of the best and because he had a lot of international exposure. So someone like you now, someone like me, like what are you gonna freak me with? A trip to China, a trip to America? Homie, I've been there.
Yeah, but
You understand?
you
So
know, Kingsley, it's deeper than that. Sorry to cut you off. It's deeper than that in that there are many people, like, again, it goes back to this God will give me more. I will inherit the earth. Everything belongs to me. I'm supposed to have, I don't know, you're not following Nigerian social culture,
When
so
I said there is
maybe
something I want to make a point.
okay, let Egoli go. Then after Egoli,
okay.
we'll come back to Eno, and then I'll land. Okay, myself I need to go to bed. Go on, Egoli, dear.
Okay. I actually want to make 2 points, but I'll just drop one, then I'll talk extensively on the other one. See, Kingsley, what you're saying is okay, but it's like you don't know Nigerian politics. So, see, let me tell you, that's the first thing they did. They did it to Good Luck, they did it to Bugari. You are coming in with integrity. You believe that you are coming to change Nigeria. That's the motive you have. Okay, when you get there, they will set you up, they will turn your people against you. They will, as in the kind propaganda they will drive on your head. But look, didn't you look at Good Luck the first time he came into power and when he left power? Did you watch? Did you watch his physical appearance? Did you see? They drive. They set that man up to. They said that he was just moping. In fact, he was just a ceremonial president. He couldn't do nothing because they've set him up and they say if you don't do what we want, we'll leak the videos, we'll tell people. Leave Nigerian politics, so my own opinion. That leads me to my second point. See, I've sat down, thought it through, and I think that's the only way out. That's the only solution for Nigerian politics. See, in my research, I found out that aside that Islam is foreign in the northern part of Nigeria, they have a culture. I'm yet to hear. I'll still delve into to find their culture, their real culture. It's not Islamic culture. Their real culture, their deities and everything. And that brings me into saying, any day we are ready as a people of Nigeria. You see, on that swearing in day, we should stop presidents and governors. We should stop swearing them in with Quran and the Bible. On the day of swearing in, if it's a president, okay. Edo people, may una carry una ogun, oh yeah, they come as rock. Igbo people carry which one we get? Edo, Ogugu, Udo, oh yeah, they come Abuja. Yoruba carry your ogun, carry your whatever. If all of them reach Abuja, if you want to be a president, oh yeah, place your hand here on top this, all of this thing. Oh yeah, swear. If you chop our money, if you misuse our money, you will have elephantitis. In fact, your tummy will protrude. Any day we start it, people will, as in our leaders will start doing right because they feel that they lay their hands on that Quran and that Bible to swear because they know it's powerless. They cannot do it. That's why they embezzle our funds. But if we go back to our roots and they start swearing for us by our gods, if we don't know kill you, Ogun go kill you. If Ogun not kill you, one deity from outside land will kill you.
Yeah.
All of them will vacate. All the evil ones among them will vacate because you're no longer beast now. You are dealing with spirits, so you have to come clean. That is the only way out. If we don't do that, You're not ready. That's my own opinion.
Because thank you so much, Egoli, for that. And you're right, because the African God is immediate. You understand? No pray for forgiveness or immediate, and they will not agree. Exactly, I know. I saw your comment. That's why we like Christianity. And even you hear people tell you, yeah, God will forgive now, then they will do bad thing. God will forgive now. Try that one with acquiring God now. Try it. As your hand is touching that thing, bro, your hand is falling off. Oh, my father used to tell me about his own fathers, like those days where they will put juju on their land. They will put juju on their land. They say if they will do libation, pour that thing, touch it. Touch it. That's why
They know that's
they won't do it. They
that's
won't
why
do it.
I discovered something. I told you
They
that
won't do it.
in my journey, in my transition, I discovered many things. Do you know that our politicians are behind the perpetuity of religion in Nigeria? Do you know they paid all these big pastors? Where they put them? Do you know they
Oh,
paid them
all these, all
every
these, all
tenor?
these, all these, all these big pastors. Sorry to
Every
interrupt you.
tenor
They are
pay them. They
useless.
pay them. Yes. Every tenor pay all
Useless.
these big pastors. Redeem. They pay them
Useless.
to keep telling Nigerians nonsense, to keep you
Useless.
down with religion that you never think well. They pay
Useless.
them. The day I found out. That's why I found many things about, because let me say I'm opportuned to wine and dine and come close with some good, as in not good. I won't call them. None of them is good. I've been opportuned to come close to politicians.
Yeah, I'm sure they are good politicians now. Don't you guys think so?
They are
There is,
not
but they
good.
will corrupt you. They will corrupt you.
I don't
I've
I
been
don't
close
believe
to
I
them.
don't believe that anybody can corrupt you, by the way, but
I
I
know you
think
are not I know you are not understanding it.
I
The corruption
understand it.
is not by choice, it's by force.
No, here is the thing. If you are a person of integrity and you get into your office, your aim shouldn't be how to retain your
You are
position
not
because you're
understanding
doing
it.
it.
I wish I
Let
can
me
paint a
finish.
picture for you.
Let me let me finish. Your
Okay, sir.
aim is not to um retain power. Your aim is to serve the people, and if the people are willing, you'll be extended. Now, if you understand, or I'm sure you understand, how politics is done, that's why people in Nigeria, someone will go and give testimony that they were appointed as something, something. Do you know why? Because
The
they are
money
not there
involved.
to serve the people. They are
Mm-hmm.
not there to serve the people. And
Serving their
I was going to make a point before this first point that I just made. There was a time I knew somebody, actually it was my ex, he was working for the government, and there was conflict in his state. And he the conflict involved religious leaders, both Christians and Muslims, pastor and an imam. And this person was an atheist. So the way he was rallying around trying to solve this problem. So I said to him, but why is this so important when you don't believe in God? He was like, Rebecca, let me tell you something. These people are important to us. We in government, we know because they keep the people calm. They give the people hope that we know they have no reason to have. So even though I don't believe in God, I support the religious leaders because they work for us. He told me this. So again, it goes back to me saying that religious structures, even the way the Bible is written, the way the Quran is written, everything is to perpetuate the bad governance. This system
religion
is
is
not
a
for us.
tool the politicians are using against Nigerians. It's a
It
tool
is
in their
not for
head.
it's not for us in Africa, and we allow it. So if you are in the government, if you are a person of integrity and you want to join Nigerian politics at any level, you are supposed to say to yourself, if the rubber meets the road, you resign. There are many ways.
Yeah.
People have done it. You're not supposed to say they will corrupt you. No, nobody will
We,
corrupt
we,
you.
we always have a choice.
Unless
Yeah,
you will resign, that's the only way out. But as for corruption, they don't corrupt you by choice. They corrupt you by force. Becca, when we have, and Kinsley too, if we have personal conversation, there are some things I cannot say live here for security purposes. I'll tell you one on one. you will
Okay.
see how dirty Nigerian politics is.
I know. I mean, we know, right? I
I gave up.
mean,
Really, I found out that truth. I gave up on Nigerian politics. There is no solution
but we
for
cannot
now.
give up. See, and I see where you're coming from. But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing.
We
That's actually that's no.
on later.
Let me let which is why I am switching my focus in 2025 to get more Nigerians to now be interested in politics. And I think I think that's why Nigerian politicians and Nigeria gets away with being subpar, because most of us Nigerians, home and abroad, we've given up. We have given up. I've given up. I gave up in politics long. I think I've told you this probably in passing conversation. I said I don't know. I mean, I've said it directly or indirectly. I don't care about Nigerian politics. I don't. But I had to sit down with myself and reflect. Like, that's not correct. If you are a Nigerian and you care about Nigeria, you have to be interested in the politicking of your country, because those politicians are the ones that have the power that me and you don't have. Listen, I can yap all day about Nigeria, but bro, I don't have the power. I don't have the authority. You understand? Like, I'm not the guy deciding which school gets built. I'm not the guy deciding budget allocation. It's not me. But the power we have as Nigerians is that we have a voice. Instead of using that voice to fight South Africa or Ghanaians or ourselves, in my opinion, amongst other things, Nigerians, whether you're from the north, south, east, or west, we have one common enemy. Our common enemy are our ruling class, our politicians. Because guess what? Whether the politician is a northerner, whether that politician is from Akwa Ibom State, whether that politician is from east or west, they are all the same. They all sit in the same room. They all joke. They do business together. It's not about Yoruba, Igbo, Akwa Ibom. No. We need to say, hey, bros, you're the governor of XYZ states. Why are you like this? What is happening? What's going on, bro? You receive this amount of money. We haven't seen anything. If we start having this kind of conversations, believe you me, if 500,000 Nigerians collaborate home and abroad to start having this kind of conversations, just having the conversations, it will do something. It will do so. What will it do? I don't know, but I know it will definitely.
You are right. Do you know why I know you are right? Look at the eastern part of Nigeria. That's still Nnamdi Kanu piloted. I'm not for him. I just want to cite him now. You see how he piloted it, and it came like a wave, like a disease, and took over like 85% of the Easterners. And they had a common goal. If you say anything against it, you are in their way. This thing you are saying, if we can achieve it the way that guy achieved that thing, it's like a disease in the East now. Everybody is saying that thing. If we can get to that, have that, I don't know how to put it now, but I believe you understand what I'm trying to say now.
Yeah.
I'm citing him now. I'm not with him. I'm just citing that strategy.
We understand.
That wave. If we can catch that wave, Nigerians can catch that kind of wave. We'll submantle.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. How can we catch the wave if we don't start it?
We'll start. We'll definitely start.
No, we will. See, that's why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I have to use my platform to start getting these conversations going. Because one thing us Nigerians we are very guilty of is we are very passive. We're not passive people, but in politics we are passive. The average Nigerian is very active. That's a fact. We are not lazy people. The average Nigerian is a hardworking person. That's a fact. That's why if you notice, no matter what people say about Nigerians, they've never called us lazy. You understand? They never call us lazy. They never call us lazy because it's just not true. However, when it comes to politics, we are very passive because most of us have given up. Most of us are apathetic towards politics, and that's the problem. And that's why I want to use my platform to now start having conversations about Nigeria. Everything about Nigeria, no holds barred. We need to start challenging our parents on the way we are raised.
Yes,
We
I
need to start
support you.
challenging religion and the effect it has on the people. We need to start
Mhm.
challenging ourselves and our integrity, because us Nigerians, majority of us are morally bankrupt, like Eno said. And we have to start having these conversations. A lot of us, Egolity, I'm just going to put you on mute just because there's a lot of like feedback and it really affects. Again, a lot of us are morally bankrupt because a lot of Nigerians will accept a bribe. How can we complain about corruption as Nigerians when the average Nigerian will happily collect 20 naira to do something? Somebody will take, all it takes is 100 naira. We need to take accountability. Fighting corruption is a team sport. Fighting corruption doesn't start with the president. It starts with you and me. That's where it starts from, because it's from grassroots up. If you cannot be talking about the corruption in Nigeria, yet you are you're talking about corruption in Nigeria on this side. On the other side, you're collecting bribe from people. Like, can we be honest with ourselves?
Yeah.
You understand?
Also, yeah. Also, Kingsley, I'll just make a final point before I go to bed because I'm falling asleep. But I
Sure.
think also one of the things that as a people we need to also be cognizant of is the fact that we have no strong sense of justice. Collectively as a people, until there's justice, there can never be peace in Nigeria. And part of justice is Nigerians need to decide that they will stand on the truth and justice no matter who it is for or against. So it doesn't matter who does it, doesn't matter who is done against. I'll use an example of an issue that I think it's also really dividing us and shows a lot of moral stance on how we are as a people. I'm not sure you're following this conversation about Burna Boy and what he's doing to this comedian Akpi in
Yeah, you
Nigeria.
updated me, the Akwe guy, no? Akwe.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it, I saw a video recently, I think yesterday, about how Burna Boy kicked a fan, and I saw it on Twitter accidentally, where somebody was comparing, basically saying Davido is the king that Burna Boy and Wizkid think that they are, because when you look at Davido was brought up well, and you can see it in the way he treats people, the way he treats everybody around him, and comparing it to Burna Boy, and the people were just bashing this person, and then I'm thinking. Is it because he is Burna Boy? Because Nigerians love to worship people who have power and people who are oppressors, that people are now justifying his action, that a judge of a high court in Nigeria mandated Akpi's release, yet Akpi is still in prison. So the sense of justice that Nigerians need to have is, even if me and you are friends, if I do something wrong, you need to say it is wrong. Until we get to that point, we're not going anywhere as a society, because what ends up happening, this plays out in ethnicity, in religion, depending on who does something. Some people will keep quiet, and silence and indifference is consent. If you're silent about something that you know is wrong, or you are acting indifferent because you don't want to offend the person who has done the wrong, you are complicit of the system continuing. Yeah, I'll stop there for now. And good night, everyone. I need to go to bed.
No, I'm actually, you see, I don't know. I need to actually start training myself to go to bed earlier, because I resume work next week, Monday. And lately I've been having my life to like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm like, bro, I need to stop this. So yeah, I need to actually good night. Thank you so much there. Egoli, you can unmute if you want to say something. I had to put you on because there was like a feedback from your end. Good night,
I bet
Eno.
not tired. We see this conversation. We're not going to finish am today. But
Abi.
and there is a lot to talk about, but it's fine.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot, absolutely.
Really supporting the move. The truth is I've given up on Nigeria, but hearing you talk this night, okay, I'll give it
No, it's
another
okay.
shot.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Egoli. Yeah, and you're not alone. A lot of people. See, don't get me wrong. I'm like you too, huh? I gave up on Nigeria politics a long time ago. You understand? But do I believe in Nigeria as a country and the potential? Yes. Do I believe in Nigeria as a country the way it is exactly? No. Do I believe in Nigeria being restructured so that you can give the zones more power? Absolutely, I do. But for us to get there, we need to start having conversations. Ego. We need to
The
start having
conversation that we
we need to start having conversations that are targeted
Exactly.
conversations between Nigerians.
Conversation that will help us substitute religion, bring the right, equity, and justice. Is all of that will happen during the discussions. When the discussions start gaining momentum.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But for it to start gaining momentum, it needs to start and being consistent and talking to the right people, not trying to convince politicians. We don't need we see, and one thing we need to start tackling is that these conversations is going to require Nigerians to be very introspective. Which and see, a lot of us Nigerians, I don't think we are ready for these conversations. If I'm being honest with you, because we like no no we like to we like to point the fingers at the politicians, but then guess what? The politicians in Nigeria are a reflection of the people. Any corrupt, if you have corrupt politicians, it's because the people are corrupt, and that's something we don't like to hear as Nigerians. But it's the goddamn truth. Corrupt people create corrupt politicians. Corrupt societies create corrupt politicians. People that are not corrupt do not have corrupt politicians. And when a politician is exposed for being corrupt, the people lash out. But we don't, because we are corrupt ourselves. So that's where it starts from. How can we demand a society to be how can we look at the politicians? Oh, you're corrupt, yet we are paying for our kids to have admission. Schools are collecting bribes so that they can give your child admission. In fact, even bribes in hospital now so that you can get what the fuck? So this is something we need to start doing as Nigerians. Start having these conversations. Like when we see injustice, regardless of the tribe of the person, regardless of the power, we need to call it out, because this is reflective of the people.
Exactly. You're right.
Sometimes I'm tired.
Maybe you heard when I was saying that the first time I delved into African spirituality, I started having a mental breakdown. I told you.
Oh, don't
I mean, I saved myself. I have to, because I started seeing the loopholes. First of all, I started discovering the loopholes that give the white the leverage over us. I started seeing where it started, the people that piloted it, and these are people. Oh God, man. I just have to train myself to look the other way. I beg, make I last tomorrow.
Listen, I'm fair. It's not for everybody. I get it. Even me. I don't know why I have this. I don't know. I'm still working on my spirituality. Don't get me wrong. I'm a baby spiritual guy. You clearly are very advanced than I am, but I'm trying to understand my spirituality. Like to be more to understand my spirituality. I'm still very, very early on this journey, but to me, I don't know why I have this calling, if I can call it a calling. I don't know what it is, right?
It's a
I don't
calling.
know.
When you wear suits and say praise the Lord before you believe, it's a calling now.
Like I said, I don't want to brand it something that it's not. But I've noticed that lately I've had a calling for Nigeria.
It's a calling.
There's this thing that's like.
It's a calling.
Okay, yeah. So and I don't know. Lately, I've just been like, yo, dude, Nigeria, get Nigeria better. Nigeria, do better. Talk more about Nigeria. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll listen. You understand? I'll use what I have to start talking about Nigeria. I'll use what I have to start to get, because we have. Listen, on another thing, there is no other place for us. Nigeria is the only place we need to get right.
So it's just it. If it's spoiled for all of us.
It's spoiled, exactly. So let's forget this shit about, we fix this. We have to fix it. Where you want to go? Europe, America, Asia, Middle East. They don't like us there. So we better fix our fucking home. Period. And that's my mentality. Where do you want to go? Even if you're a millionaire, you're still a black African, bro. Even if you're rich. You go to America, you're still a black African in America with money. Even if you're rich, you're still a black African in Europe. You're still black. Because I feel like a lot of our politicians, they think, because I have dollars, I have God, that's stupid.
Hello?
Are you on call?
So no, sorry, my data went low, so they were sending me reminder. It was coming in as a message. I've sent it.
All right.
One of the loopholes I discovered was That's why I'm still happy that I came to this life, and I'll still wait for Umbra to dissect that matriarchal stuff. One of the major loopholes that the white capitalized on or leveraged on and subdued Africa was because Africa has already started kicking against matriarchy. They destroyed the foundation, the matriarchal foundation, and the whites leveraged on it and destroyed all of it.
Well, no. I think. See, one thing about me, I don't like. I feel like one thing I don't do is I don't blame the whites too much.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm very big on accountability.
Exactly.
The whites could only do that because the black man allowed it.
Exactly.
That's it. So it's the white would never succeed if the African man did not sell out. That's the
Let me
truth.
let me
No, no,
let me
Egoli,
paint.
Egoli.
Okay,
Wait,
sorry. Okay.
wait. The whites could do that because some African men sold out because of some shiny things. We cannot ignore that.
No, we
We need to
don't
hold them
ignore it.
accountable. We
No,
need to
we don't.
understand that why we like to look at the West. We look at the West. We blame the West. Yeah, the West has its own shit. We know, but the West can only go so far because you have African leaders, Nigerian governors, Nigerian senators that sold out their people for chicken change.
Yes.
That is all. Because
You
the
are right.
African man, the average African man, especially the past generation, they are very short-sighted. A lot of black people are short-sighted people. A lot of black Africans are very short-sighted. We only see what's in front of us. We don't see. Do you know that a lot of politicians are thinking 10 years, 50 years ahead? How many black African leaders do you think are thinking 50 years ahead? Are you kidding me? They are thinking of today, tomorrow, next week, and that's all.
In the office, let them
So
gather as
so
much as they can.
so when you see European leaders, Asian leaders, they're thinking, oh, 100 years from now, they're creating policies that will only see the benefit from 100 years from now. They're creating tech that you will see the benefits of 100 years from now. They are doing
Yeah.
200, like in Switzerland where I stay, I heard, I don't know if this is true, there's like a 200-year plan for something to store food, something crazy like that.
Exactly.
How many African leaders are doing that? They're not.
No, you know
They're
they are.
not. I mean, even
Yeah.
a key example is to see the maintenance of key figures across Nigeria. They're all dilapidated. They're all dilapidated. That's a strong sign that we don't plan, we don't maintain things. All the institutions that are supposed to be responsible for maintaining, they're not maintained. And how can we demand respect? And I say this to the black community. The black community will never be respected until the black man has proven his ability to build, maintain, and protect.
Exactly.
The black community will never be respected until the black man has proven his ability to build, maintain, and protect.
And be accountable.
We have failed on 3 of these. Yet we want to sit on it. We want to now sit side by side with leaders that do. Are we dumb? Could you imagine a goalie? Imagine somebody. Imagine you, a goalie. You've been doing your job for 5 years, and you're the best at your job. And then me, I've been in the office for 15 years, and I suck. And I want to now tell you what to do because, like, would you listen to me?
For what?
There we go.
Because I know
And
you fail.
I failed.
You don't have
Exactly.
the moral jurisdiction and anything to pick up that topic. Yeah.
Precisely. And this is how the world sees the black community globally. Because and I say the black man, not the black woman, the black man. The black man has failed.
The destruction of the Matriarchy empire is the downfall of Africa. Hope you know that slavery came before religion. Religion came 200 years after colonization. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Have you researched and got that? It was Matriarchy that resisted them with slave trade. That is where this thing you are saying came in now, or comes in. Matriarchy resisted them. And what did they do? That's when they started selling out, breaking down the empires. That's when they started selling their brothers and kind of betrayal. That's when the betrayal started happening. And who is losing? That's why when they came back with the religion, women have lost the power now. We couldn't do much. That's why we ran into their hands as our savior. That's why if you enter any church, you see more of women there because we don't even know who we are.
Yeah,
It's
but
well,
no. It's fine. It's fine. And I think that's where we are.
that
But
what I
it's no no no
read
no.
what read
Yeah.
what that was writing. That what are you saying? Do you know anything about Matriarchy?
Please ignore the comments. And I'm going to say this and I have to go because it's almost 2 a.m. here.
Yeah, me
And
too. I
it
need
is
to go.
okay. You want to drop?
No, once you close your life, I'll go.
But I think it's very important to acknowledge that. So when we're talking about the Nigerian context, it's very important to put that into perspective. That is, um, we need to take accountability for what we do as Nigerians. You understand? As Nigerians, we need to
Yeah,
take accountability for that because we cannot just expect things to just change from the top down. Change starts from the bottom up.
exactly.
Change starts from the bottom up. We're talking about end corruption. Yet every single day you have to pay somebody else money to get something done. That's where it starts. We need to start calling each other out for corruption. You understand? And that's people watching other people. Why are you asking me to pay you 20 naira? Why are you asking me to give you 100 naira? That's wrong, and I shouldn't do that. You should do your job because that's your job. Period. Because guess what? When those same people go to Asia or they go to Europe, they don't do that. You don't ask anybody to money. Why is that? So why do you get to do that? Why you asking why you because these same people that do this nonsense in Nigeria, you do this, but when you go to other countries that have a zero tolerance for that, they don't do it. So it's not that you cannot it's not that you can't do it, you can. It's because the environment encourages you and there's no check. If I'm ever the president of Nigeria, which is almost impossible in this current setup, I swear to God, corruption will have a harsh penalty, because that's when people are going to stop. There needs to be a harsh penalty. Maybe you go to jail for the rest of your life. Maybe you face something drastic. That's it. But of course, you have to start paying people well. I see both sides. How can you not again? But then again, I cannot expect. You see, that's something that I've learned. I have to also look at this from two sides. How can I expect the man to not ask you for money when he barely gets his salary? That's another thing. You understand? If I want you to stop, if I want corruption to stop in Nigeria, we need to make sure people are well paid, bro. We cannot ignore that. Of course, somebody's going to ask for extra money, bro. His salary barely pays for his kids' school fees, and he barely eats. It matters. It matters now. We cannot say, "Oh, end corruption." Somebody asking for bro, how much? Some people have not received their salary for 3-4 months. I know. Of course, they're going to ask you for money. They're hungry. But if I pay you well, and you know you're getting paid, and you're still asking for money, you deserve to be in jail. You deserve to rot in jail. You understand? But that's so everybody has a role to play in a country like this. Are people being paid well? Are the right people being hired? And is salary coming in on time? And if salary is not coming in on time, why is the salary not coming in on time? Who took the money? If the person responsible for taking the money is found, there needs to be a harsh sentence for that. That is how you stop corruption in Nigeria. People get paid well, and incredibly harsh punishment for corruption is zero tolerance. And the arms of government need to be truly independent. The judiciary, the legislature need to be independent of any political party. Period. That's how we can have a better Nigeria.
You are
We cannot
right.
have we cannot have a better Nigeria when the governor, because he's your friend, PDP, APC, whatever, you can get away with it. The fact that Burna Boy, a musician, gets to determine the fate of a comedian is bad. Go ahead, dear.
So, I am still in line or in tune with what you just said about setting up a standard first
before setting up the penalty. Let me use an example. When Sullivan Chime was the governor of Enugu State, he didn't just come up into the seat and said, okay, stop dropping debt on the road, stop messing up the environment. No. Do you know what that man did? He first of all put baskets, waste bin around the Enugu. Before you walk from here to the, as in like 2-3 foot, you will see a waste bin. Do you know why he did it? So that the day hours, I waiting till they call him, S-woman will carry you. You will not give an excuse that you did not see any waste bin. Are you understanding me? He, as in, around the whole of Enugu State, if you are passing on the street, everywhere, major roads, you will see the waste bin. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
So that if S-woman carry you, there is no excuse. If you like, go and carry your grandmother that is having stroke and come. No, you will face the penalty. So that's the measure to cut. And if you need to see Enugu that time, Enugu was extra clean and nice because people were obeying the rules. We are seeing a waste bin. You don't have any. Well, you know that some people are mad though. They will see a waste bin, but they will choose to drop it on the floor. And that's when S1 will carry them. And then there's no excuse. You face the penalty. So that's as in, I cite this is an example I cited, like what you were saying. If the people are paid well, then you can now put up any law with a penalty, and it will hold.
Yeah.
That is.
It's to be honest with you, to your point, Ego. It's not complicated to fix Nigeria. If I'm being honest with you, it's not hard. It really isn't hard, in my opinion. And I know this is probably an oversimplification, but I don't think, because like most things in life, the more money you have in your pocket, the less easily cajoled you are. That's all it is. Like there's a connection between earning well, a developed society, and less religiosity. Because when you have roads that work, you have salaries that sustain you, you have access to good healthcare, you are less dependent on some ethereal feature, ethereal phenom like God, or that's how it is. So when Nigerians, as soon as the average Nigerian has access to good roads, a salary that pays them good enough. Nobody's asking you to take care of their lifestyle. No, a good salary that matches reality, good healthcare, good education, electricity. Most Nigerians will be like, don't leave me. I don't need your 100. What do I need your 100 naira for? I'm good. I'm well fed.
That's when the orientation will work, because
exactly.
you set something in place already for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. And we cannot act like that doesn't matter. It absolutely matters, because that's the truth. We're all human beings. Why are most of us abroad? We're abroad because we want a better life. That's it. Most Nigerians are Nigerians are more successful outside Nigeria than in Nigeria. That matters. There's a reason for that. Like, we need to take care of that. People must eat. People must be paid well. Young people need jobs, and there's a lot of jobs in Nigeria. We need to take away this centralized, concentrated power in Abuja and give people the power. And when we take away power from the center, we need to tell people that, listen, the power is actually with your governors. Focus on your governors. What is your governor doing? What's your senator doing? What's your local government chairman doing? Yeah, that's it. A lot of Nigerians have been lied to. We are focused on presidency. Presidency don't do shit for nobody. The job the job of the president of a country is not to fix your roads. Did you hear me? The job of the president, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, the job of the president is not to bother with whether you have transformer in your village. That's not the job of the president.
But that's the truth. You are right.
That's the truth. A lot of people don't know that your focus should be on your governor, your senators, and your local government chairman. Period.
Yeah, your House of Rep representatives.
Not the president. The president is focused with international relations, economy at large. What else? Military. You also have time to be. It's your governor. Anyway.
Nigeria is well. We'll start with what we have, and where we can. And don't be surprised. We are just saying it with our mouth now. Don't be surprised what we can achieve.
Absolutely. My dear, thank you so much, man. Pleasure to have you.
Yeah, same here, same here. Make I just pull my head down. I go work this night, oh, but see me.
Really?
I'm a tailor, so most times I work at night. Then this
Wow.
like an hour or two, I'll wake up. My work studio is in my house. I use one of my rooms as my work studio.
Wow. No, 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 Oga to bother you.
No, no.
No, Oga, lucky. You know what they say about us men? They're like, us men, this is the time.
No, I sleep
This
when
is the
I want
perfect
to.
time.
I sleep when I want to. I wake up when I want to. No, this thing.
Lucky you, look. Ego links, my ego locks, my dear. Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank
have a nice
you.
time. All right,
So,
guys.
bye.
I'm gonna. Bye bye. I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.